Junction podcast. We're here for episode 124. We got Mark back with us. What's up, Mark?
Yeah, right. After 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nice being back.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited, man. I guess we'll just dive right into it. You had a pretty cool trip. You went to Japan. You want to tell us a little bit about how the trip
Yeah, I
went?
mean, it started pretty good, and then it kind of ended kind of crappy when I got to Osaka because I picked up a bug that I'm still dealing with, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was about a week and a half, pretty much. No, the first day you got there, you pretty much just kind of I don't know. I'm saying impressing, just adjusting because it's jet lag is a thing. It usually takes about 2-3 days to like fully adjust. But that first week when we were there, I was there for the Hall Live 6th Fest / Expo. So I had tickets for the expo, not for the fest, the concert stuff, the good stuff, unfortunately. But that was a unique experience if you're into VTubing and Hall Live scene. It's pretty dope weekend. A lot of standing in the lines. My legs were killing me. Then spent the next few days in Tokyo. I think we're down in Shinjuku, essentially. Went around, obviously. The Tokyo Sky Tree. Did some stuff in Akihabara. Got to see the big... I think it's over in Dive City or something like that, where they called it, for the big mech, where one of the big Gundam mechs is at right now, stuff like that.
That's sick.
And then the last 3 days we spent down in Osaka, but for the last 2 days I caught a bug, so I didn't really do a whole lot of anything when I was down there, unfortunately. The two main things I wanted to do was Osaka Castle, and it's about a 45-minute train ride over to the Nara Park. But it was one of those things you got to bug. It's it's fine when you're laying down, you get up, you walk. After a hot second, you're like, I feel super nauseous. So it was kind of a subpar way to end the weekend, but the trip. But it was still enjoyable. Ate a lot of really good food and stuff like that. Walked a lot. Just had a relatively good time.
Tell me more a little bit about the convention, because I love conventions. And so I haven't been to one like that. We've obviously been to an anime one together, and then I've been to a couple of them separately as well. And
yeah,
they're always a really good time, man, because I always like the stuff that it seems like a lot of people don't care about now, like the panels and stuff like that. But
yeah, so
shopping's great, and
it wasn't like a traditional. It's this is the 6th one they've had. It's a fest / an expo. So the fest, the fest or the festival portion is more of they have 3 different concerts and one just general interactive scene.
Okay.
The actual main expo floor, it's more of what you'd expect from an expo. You go to certain areas and see certain things. It's less kind of interactive. And then they had one little or one area where you could sit down. They had either just general live streaming stuff, people walking around, or some of their talents interacting with the crowd, playing games, looking what's going around. And it's a mix, because sometimes they've got some of their English speaking talents there. Sometimes it's always all just the Japanese talents. You're just kind of either or you don't know what they're talking about. And I didn't get a whole lot, but obviously I think I sent some pictures from they had some a Hall Live crossover with I think it was Capcom with Monster Hunter and some Street Fighter stuff they were advertising, which I thought was pretty neat. Because if you ever watch, and obviously they do a lot of those talents do a lot of live streaming and stuff like that, so they play a lot of games. They had specific models and stuff made up, so it was pretty neat. They had their advertising, just some general stuff, some of their homegrown events they've done. They were kind of re-advertising and stuff like that. I think one of the big ones was they had a major of the Ian talents had a major event, recollection, and I think they called it enigmatic recollection. It was this big role-playing Minecraft server that they had, where they kind of played certain talents, where they were their whole thing. It was a really big popular thing, so they were kind of advertising their 2nd season of that. I guess it was probably one of the bigger displays where they were displaying all the talents, their new outfits and stuff like that, as well as around the expo. You could see a lot of merchandise that you could either buy online or at different locations. I do have a lot. I guess I've got one that I didn't get this at the expo. I got it actually. They had they have a lot of what they call pop-up stores in Japan.
Okay,
it's small, limited time little pop-ups, whether it's big, where they have it's not less of a pop-up. They're there for a year and a half or whatever they're marketing, but they had a big location in Tokyo Station, stuff like that. Of the many things that I bought, probably one of the more expensive things I bought was this little acrylic stand with all the talents on it and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Some little neat. I was trying to think. This probably cost me at least 20k yen if I had to guess.
So how much is that for us? I don't know the conversion off the top of my head.
I spent a lot of money. Because I think I have to pull it up.
20k, so that would be
20k yen. It's about
120. How much?
About $130 probably.
I was pretty close. It's 120. Okay, all right.
It's expensive. I got a whole lot of. Oh, I just grab it.
He got all kinds of
Grab it.
stuff at the
There's also a
convention.
bunch of stuff from the actual expo that I was able to get online, but that's
Okay.
gonna take a hot second to ship because some of it they had that you could already buy, and then some of it just hasn't been like produced yet. So it's like everything's gonna get shipped at one time. So I think I should get it sometime in the fall. But on top of that, with some of those that you saw in there, because apparently acrylics are like a really big thing in Japan that you notice. They have like a lot of the individual talents, little acrylics and stuff like that with the
Yeah.
stands. And then, well, I don't think are all these. Yeah, I think these are all not all of them, but they're all from that same outfit setup that I had. So it's like a whole bunch of different
Oh, that's
talents,
cool.
acrylics.
So it's
that were
all
probably,
those individually, essentially.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Acrylics are like a big thing because what is it?
They really like statues as well. They're pretty big
The
into like
statues
their
are just
little
more
mini statues.
expensive and they eat up a lot of space.
Yeah,
So like different acrylics I install, I got these at like secondhand stores. So they're
that's
like
cool.
some of these are like almost brand new. So they're relatively their price is more
So-
based off the size and how popular they are because this is from
Is that a VTuber or
no,
Hololive?
this is from Girl Zoom Panzer. I think it's Miho
Oh,
Nishizumi. I
okay,
got a little smaller one for like Balalaika or Black
nice.
Lagoon. So they're just you get a lot of these at secondhand stores. I can understand they're
Yeah.
both cheaper and they eat up a lot less space when you consider like Japan.
Yeah,
The Japanese
absolutely.
apartments are you're kind of stressed for space and stuff like that. I mean, I can grab her. We're just all the way over here. I got so much crap.
Okay, he's gonna grab some. He's gonna grab some other stuff real quick. He got a bunch of stuff there.
Oh, I just knocked something over. I can't see. I think I spent probably at least $2,000 on this trip, if I had to guess. That blew
Okay,
a lot of money.
he's gonna show us. Cool.
So because like I guess you'd say some of these I won at like the little crane games, some that I ended up like buying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This one I can't remember what she's from.
Wait, you actually won some stuff from those?
Yeah, like those little crane games where it's like the price
Yeah.
2 bars. There's like a way you can do that because you can buy like a lot of the prizes from the crane games at like used stores because people go and play
Yeah.
them just to be good at them because they
Right,
have
for sure.
prizes. This is
That one is sick.
I can't remember what she's from exactly to be honest, but
It's I know the character, but yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I think this was another one that I won through the crane game from
Oh, from
SEO.
yeah,
She's from the Gun Gale season, but it's like the special little bunny outfit that she had.
it's cool.
And I think I think the last one that I actually won from a crane game was a Gundam Seed Freedom little head thing.
Oh, that's cool. A little mini statue, head statue.
Yeah, it's supposed to like
That's
make
cool.
some sound or something like that.
That's
And then
sick.
because I saw it, so I found some stuff I was looking for, some stuff I wasn't. It's one of the few Spice and Wolf ones that I found that wasn't too bad.
Nice. Show the side of it so I can see how
Oh,
it's
yeah.
positioned.
I think
that's
it's
cool.
everything but the barrel. I think it's just her specifically. I haven't actually opened
Okay.
it up yet, but most of these you get from secondhand stores, but it's like $20.
You know what I love about those? Sega puts so many of those out. Isn't that crazy?
There's so many. Like when you go through like different stores,
Yeah.
they're just shelves filled with them. Some are big, some are small.
Yeah.
And
I
most
love
of them are
that Sega
considered
puts so many of those out. It's crazy.
yeah, I can't remember because I can't obviously read Japanese because this is another Lacus Klein from Gundam Seed.
Yeah.
Some of these you get from secondhand stores, but it'll say whether it was like opened, unopened but
Okay.
damaged and stuff like that and stuff. So you can know like was it opened or they just win it or they just kind of like sell it because a lot of them you win the crane game. Well, I don't care for this. I'm going to turn around and sell it. If you're good at the crane game, you know what you're doing. You could probably I'd assume you can make a profit.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on the popularity. This was like another Gargur from Hololive one that I found.
That's cool.
Yeah, I spent way too much money. I found a lot of Lacus Klein stuff, and I spent a lot of money on her. So this is another one from the pilots from the Freedom movie with this pilot outfit. That's some racing version, and these were largely inexpensive. It's been around $20 for most of these, so it's like relatively cheap.
Was the racing version actually from anything, or is it just a
No, I just think it's just an alternative costume that you can buy on like figures and stuff like that. And then there was like one like another. This was a Seed Destiny outfit for Lacus Klein as well. I think that's one of the outfits she wore. Yeah, this is another one where it was like because they had it like in English as well. This was unopened, but the box was damaged, so it
Gotcha.
lowered the price. This one was a little bit more expensive, but
Do you save the
that was
boxes? I know a lot of people do. Some
I
people
usually
don't.
do.
Okay.
If you lived in Japan, I can understand why it might be a
Yeah,
little bit difficult to
absolutely.
keep them
For
due to limit
sure.
on the space. But I usually keep them just so when you move, you have something to like package them back up in.
Yeah, I
And
do too.
there's probably maybe $100-$150 there. They're just big, so
Yeah.
a lot of suitcase, a lot of luggage and stuff like that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think there's only I was like trying to be sparse on figures because you only have so much luggage
I
space.
was like, how do
I
you
ended up
ship it
having
all
to
that
get
back?
a third one.
That's crazy. I love it, man.
But
Um,
those if you ever play those crank games, they're really fun. It's just trying to figure out
yeah.
like which ones you're good at and how to like play them. Because certain plushies aren't the hardest, but there's like a specific way you have to go at it and kind of move it. And then some of the actual crane games, you can tell when you put enough money in it, it's like okay, it'll win because it'll just grab it and drop it. Just like, oh, okay. I guess I've
Seems
dumped
like
enough money into this machine.
they might be a little more fair there, it seems like. If you
Because you
want that
can if
many.
you because either they'll see you like playing a lot of money and struggle, and some of the people there will help like put it in a more advantageous position. But a lot of times, if
Love
you've
that.
been playing and playing, you're just struggling, they'll either come and like reset it for you if the prize is in a position that you can't do anything with it, or they'll just sometimes they'll do it and just kind of like help set it up in a way that's just better for you to like win the prize.
That does not happen here. That's
And if
so
you
cool.
if you put enough money into it, they'll essentially
Yeah.
let you win more or less. So there's like one of those, if you
Yeah,
feed the
that's
machine
cool.
enough money, they'll let you win the prize.
That's sweet. So is that all your pickups that you got
Oh,
completely?
I have a crap ton. Just a lot of it's smaller or less relevant.
Do you,
Most of it's the
nah, all
manga
that's
and games and
relevant.
stuff like that. I got a lot of manga and game
Uh,
stuff as well.
Let's go through that. Do you want me to go first before, or do
Uh,
you want to go
I mean, it
first?
doesn't matter. I can go through the manga, then we get the game stuff real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
All
it
right.
got a little damaged, but I did just because I had to. This was a ultra jump one that I ended up picking up. Because there's
Sick.
so many types of these big, like all-in-one little manga stuff they have, so you just gotta
Yeah.
pick and choose. I just wanted to have one to have it because it's got different, like it's like your weekly
Yeah.
jump. Hey, they're
Takes
all
me
in this
back, man.
big magazine weekly jump stuff.
Takes me back to getting Shonen Jump every month. Miss that.
They don't do it as enough here, but yeah, the fact that they still like print all this stuff is crazy.
Pretty awesome.
I didn't get massive amounts, so this one wasn't a manga, but it was more like a light novel that I didn't know what it was. So this is a high school DD. It says
Yeah.
15. It's not the 15th volume. This is the 15th volume of the light novel. I didn't realize it till I got home
Oh,
what
okay.
it was. So it's one of those little special editions. I'll just go all out. Oh, that's right. It's all like twisted up. So it's got the surprisingly, I wasn't even going after them. So I've got a random light novel, though they have these in English, and I've been kind of collecting them. So you've got the light novel of it, and then it came with a special episode 2 Blu-ray. I had no idea what this is.
Oh, that's sick.
Stuff
Just
like
comes
that.
with a Blu-ray with the manga.
Yeah, and it
That's
wasn't. I don't
sick.
think this was. I don't think I. Nah, I ripped the package, and I don't know how much it was. I know it wasn't like super expensive for this one, so I was like, that's not bad at all. And it's crazy if you walk some of those bookstores, like it's just a sign on the floor that says, "Hey, you're now entering R18," and they just have like hentai all over the wall. And so those stores like, that's crazy,
That's
bro.
awesome. That's great. That is wild.
Like you just walk into a
Oh
section, you're like,
man.
oh, well, this is not for me, or it is, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
find
depending on
some
who you are, man.
Girls und Panzer stuff just because I know we talked about it. Big fan. This is like a
Yeah.
fan book doujin essentially. I didn't realize it till
Gotcha.
I was able to like buy it and start opening it up and looking through it. I'm like, oh, this is like a fan made thing.
Gotcha. That's pretty neat though.
Yeah, continuing the seed stuff. So they had two different seed freedom light novels. I assume these are like the novelized versions of the movies. I saw
Gotcha.
those and I was
Okay.
like, just I love Seed, I love Gundam, I'll take it. Uh, there's a manga called Gundam Seed Destiny: The Edge. Know nothing about it, but I picked up the first volume that they had.
I
Like,
haven't heard of
screw it.
that.
Yeah, hey, this is the motivation to learn Japanese here, so I can actually.
Yeah, man. That was my motivation back in the day.
And then this kind of surprised me. It was like a random. This is a remastered edition for Mobile Suit G Fighter. It's a manga,
Huh.
which I thought was crazy.
It's a remastered version?
It just says remastered editions. I assume it's retelling the story. I just thought it was crazy
Gotcha.
because this was for the 30th anniversary of G Fighter that they had. I think it was a few years ago, or
That's pretty cool.
was it this year? Because it came out in the 90s. So I think it's
Yeah.
the 30th was pretty. Oh no, sorry, it's 2024 on the back. You can't really see it all that well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just thought it was crazy. Love the Initial D, so I just grabbed the first omnibus volume that they had, which is kind of rare because they don't really see a whole lot of omnibuses in Japan.
No, you don't.
Most of them are usually like standalone volumes. So there's like a crap ton of them. I guess I had two more. I can't remember if these. One is a novel. So this first one is a manga. Second one's a light novel for Girls in Panzer.
Okay.
One is based. This is pretty sure is official because it's based off the finale stuff. This one, I'm not sure. It's from Kutakawa, so I'm pretty sure it's official. But I just can't remember because I can't read everything that's not in English. And then the last two manga I got, one, it's some weird it's not like hentai, but it's got some explicit scenes in it. I don't remember what it says. It's all in Japanese. And then another manga that's kind of I know people that know this one just based on how it looks. It's definitely weird. It's something to do with like some dude who
got
fights
some big boobs going on there.
Fights in an arena, and it definitely, when he wins, he kind of gets to do what he does with whatever the girls that he just beat. In a
Gotcha.
Explicit ways. I like take some over. Oh wow, no, yeah, there was some of these other things. I guess on as far as the manga, so these aren't really manga. This one's more of like a Gundam suit, or not Gundam Seed. It's more of like a concept. It's like a bunch of like character bios and stuff like that, which is pretty dope. Pretty expensive.
That is pretty sweet.
It was like $50-$60 for this thing. Yeah, it cost me like 6,600 yen, but it was pretty dope. So I was like, yeah, screw it. For an art book, and then because I found like one or two Ghibli stores as well. On top of some of the stuff, I found one for Castle in the Sky, which is my personal favorite Ghibli. And then I don't know if it's not like the full novelization, but it's got actually goes through the story and stuff like that with, I assume, cool. Kind of like narration on top of it.
I love that movie. Yeah. It's a really good one.
So I saw that and I said, yeah, that's dope. But yeah, if we want to head over to the game stuff, switch it up a little bit with you going.
Yeah, Zapdos is asking, do you like anime or games better?
See, that's hard because I've gone. There's times where I was definitely more into anime than games. I guess I'd have to say games because I play them more than I watch the anime. But it's just a matter of what I've got time to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I like both. I'm just more picky, probably when it comes to like how I spend my time. So.
Absolutely, you
might be a little more picky with the anime just because it's more of like a time investment.
For sure, I agree with that.
But there's so much you want to watch, so it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah,
because on the plane ride
there's
back,
so much, man.
On my entire flight back, I think I got through like the first season and a half of Konosuba. So I just took some free time to watch that. It's a straight comedy. It's funny.
Yeah, Konosuba. I might have to look that one up.
100% you've seen it before, and you're like, oh wow, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I have seen this. Yeah, I've seen this before. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I've seen this.
Yeah, I mean, it's an isekai, so you kind of have an idea, but it's the epitome of like this dude just doesn't care. I don't know if you can say he doesn't care about anything, but he's very selfish and I don't know if you want to say lazy, but no.
Do you own anything for this, like any Blu-ray or anything?
I don't own anything for it. I ended up downloading it before my flight back, so I just had something to watch.
Pretty okay. Yeah, this is Madman put this out. Nice.
No, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. So you want to show off the games that you got?
Yeah, I guess we can go into that.
Yeah.
Grab it. So, well, are all these games? Oh, sorry. As I immediately have some shit.
Hey, what's up, Rap Sheet? How's it going, man?
It's a mixture of games, and I guess there were a few Blu-rays. Some of my stuff kind of fell on me. So this one, I guess I had one more Blu-ray because I already have these in English, but obviously I'm a huge High School DD fan. So this is the new, which is like the second season and stuff like that. I believe that's
a pretty sweet.
I can't remember if it's the
cover,
just the half season or the full one. Because it's got obviously 2 Blu-ray discs in it with the little cover.
Nice.
And then it had some little like art book that I can't open because you're gonna see titties and Twitch won't like it or any of these streaming platforms. If you've seen the show, that you know, but it was like a neat little thing. Just because it's one of the few Tenchi Muyo things that I could find in the same used bookstore. This is one of the Ryoki ones. I think this is season 3, the first first DVD of it. I saw it. I was looking for it, and I just couldn't find a whole lot of stuff. And then just because I have been waiting forever, the Freedom movie they had was like a special edition. So it came like with a side story manga, essentially.
It's pretty cool.
Like this thing came with a lot of stuff. Then it came with like a key animation booklet, which I thought was dope. I have no idea what this is. It's just another advertising or something. It's all Japanese.
Some kind of insert.
Then it had the movie special, like 2 different special discs, and the side story drama of the one that I just showed you. And then,
that's cool.
It had the 20. So they had their GP 2024 where it did all the character rankings, and then all the mobile suit rankings from the entire series.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy.
I like that. That's a cool insert.
Yeah, if you can't really tell, the top ones, if you can kind of quasi see that, were there.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them, it's just like have them enumerated in the back with the names. So it's got their current ranking and then what they were ranked the previous year, because
that's pretty wild.
It's like a thing they do over there.
Thanks, Zapdos. We appreciate it. Always appreciate the love and support.
Always. I was picking stuff up and then all that kind of fell out of the box.
No, you're good, man.
I was like, oh, I had Blu-rays, not the games. So I both have and don't have this. So this is the only like Tenchi related game that I could find for the FX.
You got a PCFX game?
This is the volume 3, so it's not just Tenchi, but it's got a bunch of other stuff on the back. The problem was, and I didn't realize this until I got back. So it's still got the
I'm so proud of you
with it. The only problem is they gave me the wrong disc. So I have the volume 2 disc of this series.
No.
So I've got to buy. I got to go back and just buy just the game and see if I can't find just the box for the volume 2 of.
I'm sure you can, but
because it's the Anime Freak FX series.
Yeah,
that they had, but it's just one of those things. You're like, oh my god, I wish. Because when I bought it, like, oh, is this right? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's right. I got a headache. I'm just like, whatever. Let me just go to. It's like 8, 9 o'clock. I was trying to just be done, so I go back to bed. And I missed that. Yeah, I got way too much crap.
That's so cool. You got a PCFX game. I've actually, funny enough, I've never had one. That's cool.
It is great. So this one was the only one that didn't have a box with it, but I saw it and I had to buy it. It was like dirt cheap. It was like, I don't even think it was 1,000 yen. Star Twins for the 64. And if you don't know, this is Jet Force Gemini, the Japanese version, which they call.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called.
Twins. Yeah,
didn't know that.
And I'm a huge fan of that 64 games. It was like it was like a guaranteed buy. There was a lot of games I had to buy, but it was a mix between money and size space of what I got. There's a Game Boy Gundam Seed Game Boy Advance game, and these have the games and the booklets and stuff inside as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I saw that. I don't know if we ever got the game. I never played it, but I was like, I guess I'm just gonna buy a bunch of Gundam Seed stuff if I see it.
I don't know. I'd have that on my EverDrive, but I don't know if I don't think I checked it
out.
One
that I actually had the box for was the first Bomberman game for the 64, which I have this game just without the box, but I was like, I love Bomberman. Couldn't find the second attack, but
yeah, I was gonna ask you if you found that one. That would have been cool.
I guess I got 2 more here. One was another one, probably one of the best. I think arguably one of the best JRPGs, if you ask me, or just RPGs in general. But the Chrono Trigger for
freaking
Famicom.
Essential, man. Yeah, that's so cool.
The fact that it's the box.
I love those Super Famicom boxes. I've always loved them. Always thought they were cool.
I assume most of this is original. I don't know because it's got the little plastic case.
Yeah.
Was this the right one that I was thinking of? Yeah. So obviously it's got the case, obviously the game. And I just need to buy a Super Famicom because there was like a little thing in the back that I thought was crazy that they still had. And the fact that all this was like kept all these years. But now I actually have a proper advertisement for the Satellaview that was in this box as well.
No way, dude! That is so
stuff
cool.
On the back. I mean, it's a little bent just because of how it sits in the plastic, but the fact that I've got like a little advertisement is crazy.
Did you see one there at all by chance?
I saw the Super Famicom. I didn't see like the BSX.
You didn't see the Satellaview?
Not that I saw. It doesn't mean it wasn't there. There's just a lot of stores and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like I saw what you said. It was like the FX or the
PCFX.
PCFX, but it was like 350,000 yen. It was like it was like on par with what you're gonna find online.
Yeah, so
It
that's
was
like
like
what,
retail.
220 bucks, something like that.
Or I saw a lot of stuff cheaper, but I assume it was
That's a
it's
really
like a full
that's
set.
actually a really good deal. Like, that's actually a really, really good deal
Probably 'cause it
compared
was
to what you go on
heavy.
eBay and
I guess
I'm
it depends,
fine,
but
but,
it was one of those things where it's just like, that'd be nice," but I'm going between that and, like, luggage space, and I've already spent a lot of money.
yeah, no, I get it.
And
It's
at
a
the end of the day, I just
rather
didn't
big bucks.
it was, like, one of the last things I saw when I was in Saka, so I had a lot of stuff already, and I was like, "That much money with that little space, probably
Yeah.
at this with how much they were charging me, I was like, probably could it's equivalent to what you could buy online." So I was like, I could just, it was what it was
Yeah.
type thing.
It's pretty cool you saw one, though.
Yeah, and then the last one, because I saw this in a big box at a used store, that you can only buy this digitally here in the States, but the Girls und Panzer, what's it, Dream Tank Match DX. Not only is it physical, but it's like the special edition box
Huh.
that they had. I know you can get this in the States. You can only I've only seen it the digital only.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
So obviously
Didn't even know there was a game for it.
it's got the Switch game for it. It's one of those things where it has the instructions on the inside. It's just not plain white. So
Yeah,
better than nothing on that.
but for sure.
This was like a big box. It had a lot of crap in it. It has a desktop calendar type thing with the individual cards.
What the heck?
The problem
That's
is
cool.
the calendar is from 2019, most of 2019 to like the first few months of 2020. So the calendar is
Still cool.
out of date, but it's nice to have.
Useless but cool.
Yeah, essentially when
Is that one
game
called Dream Tank Match here?
yeah,
that
it should
the
be.
name of
That's
that?
the
Okay.
English subtitle on the actual Japanese version. So
Yeah,
there's
so I see a physical for PS4 here, but do not
Maybe-
see a Switch one. That's cool.
I don't know. Maybe I was looking for the Switch. I can't remember. So there's the Dream. There's a Blu-ray for it as well. I don't know if it's like
Okay.
from it, but it had like its own
That
Blu-ray.
came packaged in.
Yeah, it's all part of this big
Dude, that's
box
so cool.
package stuff, which I thought was crazy.
That's really cool.
It had are these? So it's got like they're all pretty much look the same, but it's got like some, I assume, character cards of whatever they say in the game.
Okay.
You can see that because it's like a character and then like some words. So I assume it's something related to what they say in the game.
Yeah.
It's just different characters with different words that they say on top of it, on top of the little packaging. Because they're huge on the things. I can't play on me like on the names. It got some more for the characters with this like acrylic, but it's not a stain. It's got like a little keychain, which is as massive if you're gonna like attach this to something. Realistically, this is something you'd probably put on like on a backpack, not like a keychain. And then I think there's one more box here. Oh yeah, and then this little box. I didn't fully open it because I didn't want to try to rewrap it, but it's got like some little posters, a whole bunch. I just didn't want to like open it and go all over the place.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't
So
have
cool.
the price anymore. I don't know how much I actually paid for it, but I saw this and I was like, that's not bad. I think it was around 10,000 yen. So what, about $80 probably?
Yeah.
So probably
not
it's
too
right
bad,
because it was a huge store. The box was damaged, or I guess technically a secondhand store, what they call it. So it was right around probably MSRP from when it would have come out.
Sure.
So it wasn't too bad. But I was like, I Girls and Pandas is one of those shows I immediately fell in love with, and I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that.
It's very much a Mark show.
Didn't
for
realize
sure. I mean, I like it too. I think it's cool.
Didn't realize it came with all this extra crap. And I was like, that's really dope. Most of this I didn't open until I got home. Because most of this stuff I was able to buy on what they call the tax-free stuff. So you're not supposed to like open the packaging or they could retroactively charge you the tax.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I know they talked about getting rid of it, but there's like a lot of stores where it says tax-free, like you show them your passport and stuff like that. They enter it in and you don't pay taxes, essentially.
It's pretty cool. Interesting.
That's like most of what I have. There's like a lot of other smaller Hololive stuff. But that's like the bulk of stuff. The rest of it's more just general touristy stuff you'd have picked up at, a few things here or there.
Is there anything cool to show from that?
I mean, I can dig. Well, I guess if you want to pull.
Yeah, for sure. Ad break. Oh, sorry, Rap Sheet. Unfortunately, I'm not the one running those. I'll show two things real quick that Mark got me. Oh, maybe he's coming back. Okay, he's checking here. So you got me this Curlia here. he sent me out a package of stuff that he got from Japan, which is really cool.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, it's a good bit of stuff here, but yeah, he sent me out this Corellia, which is actually from Pokemon Center
What's that?
in Japan, which is cool. I'm gonna have to ask him if he got to visit there and check that out. But that's really really cool.
Shit.
Obviously, a big Pokemon fan. Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon. Period. So obviously love the evolutions and stuff like that of Gardevoir. We got this little mini. It's like a little mini stand statue I put together just a little bit ago with my daughter. It's just got these little pieces that you put in. It's real simple and stuff. It's really cool. Um,
Ugh.
yeah, it's really really neat. Trying to see what it says here on the bottom. Number 909 Auditor. But that's pretty dang cool, man. I got it already on my desk here and stuff like that. I just put it together with my daughter. So
Yeah. So there's a bunch of small stuff that's just like stacked.
no, you're good.
So I actually won these two things at Crane Games. One I won without any
Okay.
help. One I ended up getting help trying to win.
Okay.
These are both from Hall Live things. Different
Oh, okay.
Corone.
Like little mini hand puppets.
Yeah, so the tops of the head, you put your hand in it, and like they can like move and do stuff.
That's cool.
These were a
So
pain
those
because
are-
all the weight's in the head. The body's just like
Gotcha.
nothing there, so they were kind of tricky to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to clean this stuff up. Two these ones I ended up buying at a store. So one's Ina. This is oh my god, what's her name? It's killing me.
Is it Butch?
No, oh my god, it's killing me. I can't remember her name now. Subaru or Shuba. Subaru.
Okay.
She's like the duck girl. There's a lot of Hall
So
Live.
these are Hololive, not VTubers, right?
Well, Hall Live is a corporation. These are all like VTuber talents and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So some other random stuff. I can't remember if I bought something for you. This was like they call it like a craft kit. It's like a bunch of like cardboard paper ball things for Castle in the Sky that I ended up getting.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show that.
It was some Hall Live because you can still get CDs and stuff. Yeah, I thought I got you one. Another.
Yeah,
Hall
it's so
Live,
cool.
CD. Some of them songs from the talents that I know, some I don't. Because they sold this one. Like these were like ungodly expensive for like a CD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's got the CD on top of it, and then this one came with a coin carrier essentially.
Gotcha.
So this one was like a Hall Live Honeyworks crossover. So it's got like the logo and a bunch of stuff. And this is just something that you would just put coins in because if you don't know, Japan's cash-based society, and you end up with a lot of coins because they've got like a 500 and a 100 yen coins. And especially when you go to the arcades, because 1 yen, I usually say 1 yen's about $1, but it's not. It's less than $1. But most of those arcade games take 100 yens and stuff like that.
Sure.
And you just end up collecting a lot of coins. Like it goes back on top.
Zapdos, can you explain Hololive to me?
Essentially, if you don't know what a VTuber, it's using like a virtual avatar. Hololive is just a company that has talents underneath of them that they can essentially manage. One of the things is they're a lot of them play games and some are pretty good at it, but they also advertise as like a idol company because idol culture is like a huge thing. And this is one of the things that originated out of Japan. So like when they do their, like I mentioned, they did like their expo, which is just a lot of stuff showing what, stuff upcoming and stuff like that. And just stuff they have. It's just like a neat thing to see some stuff from your talents and stuff like that. Take photos of stuff on the floor. They also have the fest, which is where they have essentially their big, where their talents come together for like massive concerts between different, what they call different stages and stuff like that. Because their talents will do individual concerts. Some of it will be in person. Some will just be fully online. But for the fest, you could either get tickets in person or you could stream it online essentially and watch them.
Did you
essentially do like a music festival?
Did you get to meet any of them by chance? Oh, that's cool.
No. For this one, there really wasn't a whole lot of meet and greets. Like during the actual expo portion, they had like a little thing they were live streaming where they would quasi interact with the crowd. But for the most part, it was just them doing stuff on stage, and then it was just it was like crowd interaction as far as you being on a stage talking with a quasi live stream and people like cheering and stuff like that.
Okay, all right.
because the thing is, a lot of this is just smaller. A lot of it is those PVCs.
Yeah. Sounds like they're set up a little bit different than they are here.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a traditional,
or at least that
it wasn't like an actual convention. It was an expo and then the festival
Right.
stuff. They were doing some kind of My Hero Academia crossover with the Tokyo Skytree. So they were doing some My Hero Academia. I think this is the
That's cool.
I can't remember her name, the bubbly girl. I should remember her name. With like little stands specifically for like the Skytree in the background where it hangs. They had like a little Pikachu Skytree thing.
Oh, that's so cool,
in their stores.
So cool.
I think I've got a few things. So this is not similar. I think it's kind of like a sake cup, but it's another Hall Live thing where it's got some of the talents over top of like rice, like they're, it's like the little rice.
Yeah.
It's not onigiri. It's not the right thing. But it's like a little sake cup. There wasn't a whole lot that wasn't just straight figures at the Gundam store.
You went to a Gundam store?
Well, it was the same location where they had the giant Gundam, the mall it was right next to.
Man.
But I ended up getting this was because it was the unicorn Gundam statue. This was like a little thermostat that they had.
That's sick.
With the logo on the top. Which I don't really use a thermos, but it's a neat thing to have.
Maybe you can start putting
it's a neat thing to just put on a shelf.
Yeah, it is cool. Man, how did you get all of this back?
I had 3 luggage suits.
Oh my god!
And a lot of these are like small little PVCs. There were some plushies that you could kind of shove in. It was mainly the games and then the figures that you're kind of stuck with that you target.
That's why I was
to squeeze.
Kind of wondering about. I was like, how did you fit all that?
Like it's those. I got this one. Like a lot of it's kind of like as this falls apart. Like it's like stuff like this. It's like little acrylic little stands and stuff like that. So they just don't eat up with the actual stand. They just don't eat up a lot of space.
Sure.
I guess the last of it that's just not repeating after a while. Some more Castle in the Sky stuff.
Oh, that's sick.
Had a little, I think there's like a kitchen little towel with like Porygon and stuff on it and some other psychic stuff from one of the Pokemon stores. And then they had like a small little pop-up stuff for the Godzilla store. I don't know if I sent you something for it or not.
No. You have to send it to me.
I couldn't remember what I did or didn't send.
Oh, this is you sent me something. I thought you meant like a picture. Yeah, I'll show it.
No, so this is like this is a magnet with Mothra with that famous painting wave style on top of it.
So freaking cool, man.
And then it'll be a little harder. This one's like it's not like big, but it's like this. This is the actual design with Godzilla. It's like a little throw over tablecloth, or like somebody's on a couch for decoration.
That's so cool.
They had some neat stuff there, but
so
it was a matter of what's big, and the pricing was relatively expensive for a lot.
Let me ask you, I guess, to kind of go individually into each of those, because you mentioned 2 things that I'm really interested in. Can you tell me a little more about the Godzilla store? And did you go to an actual Pokemon Center?
Yeah, so there's a Pokemon Center at Tokyo Station, and then there was a Pokemon Center. I guess technically there were 3. There's a small one that mainly just had plushies on the Pokemons at Tokyo Station. There was another one right next to the Tokyo Skytree. And then there was another, the largest one where I think I bought most of the stuff that I sent you was in, I can't remember, it was in a mall in Osaka.
Okay. So
they're like all over the place, but they're different sizes and they sell different things. The one in Osaka was the largest one that had like the biggest variety other than just a crap ton of different plushies for most of the Pokemon.
Man, that's so cool. Yeah, I was just showing, like I said earlier, Mark sent me out a package. This is really, really cool. There's a couple things I opened up here, but I've already got a couple things on my desk that he sent me, but I got the Corollia here, like I showed earlier, which is really, really cool. And that's why I was asking, because I saw the Pokemon Center tag on it. I was like,
I couldn't find the full-on Gardevoir. It was the Krilla and then the Ralts were the 2 of those that I could find. I couldn't find the actual Gardevoir version of it.
Really cool. What the heck is Pokemon Fit, though? I don't know what that is. Like, I've never heard of that before. That's why I'm so interested.
I don't remember which Pokemon store I think I got that out of. It was either the one next to the Skytree, or the one in Osaka. I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head.
My daughter put that one together. That was out of the blind. I guess you'd call it blind box, but
Yeah, it's essentially because you see this a lot. Japan loves gotcha,
yeah.
so that wasn't relatively expensive. You got one of three, or you could buy the guaranteed you get the whole set, but it's like
Okay.
80,000. It's like 80,000 or something like that. Super
Yeah.
expensive, where the individual ones are under 10K.
They're really cool because like it's actually it's
The got
pretty like I don't know, it's like a lot more detailed than what you would get from like a blind box or a blind bag here. Like it just feels good if that makes any sense at
Yeah,
all.
it wasn't. I don't know.
Like
I
it's a
don't remember
good
how much it was, but
little
it's
mini
good
set.
quality. It's just you when you're there and you're in a lot of these shops, especially for like anime related stuff, you
Yeah.
realize wow, there's a lot of gotcha related stuff here. That's not
Yeah,
always
for
a
sure.
Japanese thing.
They're heavy into that. Zapdos said I've always wanted to go to a Pokemon Center. Yeah, me too. I mean, we got the one in New York here, which I've never been to. I'm in Ohio. Unfortunately, I've never been to it. I've always wanted to go. I don't even know if it's
Had a
there
few
anymore. I know the Nintendo
small
store
related
is, but
things.
I don't know if the Pokemon Center is.
Yeah, so there's like this one where you've got different Konosuba characters.
Yeah,
It's like a gotcha thing. This was like I don't know, like $1,000. It's like $900 for different characters. This is like the little princess
that's cool.
and stuff. They even have it so because I think I sent you a few. Hopefully, I don't, well, the food's supposed to be good. I don't know if it popped, but it's like these little things. Like this one's
I
a
got one.
sausage. So it's
Yeah.
got like a cracker, but it has like one of like a number of like little cards or stickers in the back. So it's kind of like
Okay.
a gotcha thing. These are like for the food that you're getting, they're expensive, but you don't buy these for the food. You buy these for
For the
the
card.
gotcha
Yeah.
collectibles in the back.
Yeah.
A lot of stores, because this one was for My Hero Academia at the Skytree, they'll sell these little things, and it's just like a random gotcha of any of these characters on it. So you just buy them and see what you get. Because I think in this one, it was like, oh, you've got the paint girl and stuff like that. It comes with like a little
Nice.
either a little chain or like an acrylic stand type thing. But the fact that there's like so much stuff that's like gotcha related.
Yeah, they're obsessed with the
Oh
whole
yeah.
deal with that, man. They love it.
Because I didn't get it, but they have the whole pop capsule things where you put the money in, twist it, and see what you get and stuff like that. It's crazy the amount of stuff that you can buy that's gotcha related there.
For sure. Zapdos says, I've always wanted to go to a Pokemon Center. Maybe I'll get to go someday. I'm obsessed with Pokemon still, and I'm 39. Hey,
There's nothing wrong with it if
Pokemon's
you find
nothing
like
wrong with it.
I don't know, you probably Google where they're all at, but there's I think there's
Is
there's
the
a
one in
large
New
one. Of those,
York
like
still
if you're
there?
like in Tokyo or Osaka, you're gonna be able to like find them.
Do you know, like, definitively if because I know the Nintendo store is still there, but do they still have a Pokemon Center attached to the one in New York? Do you know?
I
Because they
don't know.
did back
I've
in
never
the day, but
I haven't
I've
been to
never
New
gotten to
York, so I
go.
don't know.
Yeah, I've never gotten to go, so I
And
can't say for
there was
sure.
like so much even even without it, like there's so much more to go back and to see. It's just there's a lot to do. It's like one of those things where like I'm gonna have to try to make multiple trips out here to see a lot of the stuff you want to see.
For sure, man. Yeah, I can't wait to go
Because
eventually.
it wasn't in Akihabara, it was in Osaka where there was like a massive street where there's like I don't know like 20 different of those maid girls handing out signs for like the restaurants and stuff like that. It was
That's so
crazy.
that's crazy. All right, I'll go ahead and show off this stuff, Mark. I'm really happy because I mean this filled up the first half, which I was kind of hoping would happen. So
Yeah. Because I
um,
saw something I was thinking, I was like, oh, I think Brandon might like this and pick that up.
yeah, I already showed it quickly, but me and my daughter are gonna put this together. So it's like a paper, what would you call it? It's like a kind of 3D pop out deal with paper. So it's for Kiki's Delivery Service, which is my favorite Ghibli movie.
Because they had like
So many
more than one.
classics, but
They had a bunch of those for different. There were like different types of ones. So they had like
yeah,
3 or 4 that I saw for the Kikis and stuff like that. It's just like a lot of neat little things. That's more than just pull out of a box, put on a shelf. It's the fact that there's
yeah.
some little interactive stuff that you can say you like put it together. I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool because it's actually got a lot of pieces. Look in the back here; it tells you it's got like a rating out of 5, so it's like a 3 out of 5 put
As far as the
together there.
difficulty and stuff.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat, man. Really cool. Yeah, you know what's crazy is like you really don't see nearly as much stuff for Kiki as you do like Spirited Away, or even like I don't know if you feel this way
I
about
think
like
it's a
Castle in the
mixture of
Sky.
no, it's very obvious. It's the My Neighbor Totoro is like by far the most popular one. So you see
Very
the most
popular
product
one.
for it. That's their whole mascot.
Even
But in the
Ponyo,
2
you
different
see a lot of
stores
stuff
that I
for.
saw, they had a mix of a bunch of stuff. It's just obviously some of the movies are more popular, so there's more
Yeah,
stuff made for those and stuff. So
for sure. You showed your little Godzilla I guess I don't know. Is this supposed to be? I thought it was a banner, but here was mine that he sent me. I already opened it up. I was like,
So it
this
was
is
like a
pretty.
banner, or it's like one of those little. I thought it was like one of those cloths that you kind of put over a bed or a couch or something. I can't remember if it's the same as mine.
It might be. Honestly,
It's
I
more.
don't know. I'm
It's
probably
far
using it as like a
more.
banner because it's pretty. I'm
Yeah, it's
not
far
gonna
more.
lie, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
like
cool.
decorative in nature. You're not meant to like use it. It's meant to like just sit somewhere. But
Yeah,
they're still neat from what I thought. From what I
it's
saw.
really cool. Shows a bunch of the different Godzillas there, which is really cool.
They obviously had a lot of stuff for the -1 and then the Godzilla vs Kong stuff because those are like the most
That
recent
makes
movies that
sense.
came out.
All right, this one I was like, man, this is it's just so cool. Like I have no words. The
The
Japanese
fact that I
version of
just ran
Metroid
into
Prime
that,
Hunters is so
that was another
cool.
one that was like a guaranteed buy.
I was like, you know what? I've actually never even seen that cover before. So like I was just looking at it. I'm like, this is so
And it's
cool. Even the
still
manual, everything is different. I was like comparing it to the other one. I was like, this is really rad. The cart's different, the manual's different, the cover is different, the inserts are different. Like
it's back when
just
everything was different for Japan and what the rest of the world
I
got.
mean, look at this. This is so cool. This is what I was like, all right, this is pretty rad. There's a little Club Nintendo insert for it, man, with the code still on there.
Yeah, right. I mean,
That's
it's not good anymore, but the fact that it's still there is like little reminder, and the fact that whoever sold it kept everything together, which I thought was
right.
amazing.
Yeah, that's like I have no words. It's so cool, man. All of it's different, so it's a really neat piece for sure, man. Um, okay, so we got a. Let's see, let's show these first. So we got the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Pretty freaking awesome, man.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh,
So
Brandon's gonna love this because that's like one of your favorite games.
yeah, man. So cool. You know what's
So the fact
crazy
that
on it?
you're getting the whole box, and I don't know if they still had like a lot of the stuff on the inside, but
Let's see if you can see here. It actually says it's a 3D RPG, which is really cool on the
it's
box.
dope. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the package is just completely different from Japan and US, even for the 64 stuff.
I haven't even got to open this yet, so let's look at this one. Yeah.
Because when I bought those,
Cart
they
is
keep them all
obviously
sealed.
different.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll work in the 64 thing that you ordered.
Oh, the analog, yes, it will.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which just got delayed, which is great. Got delayed to
I had
like
pop in like I'm playing the Japanese version. I can't read anything, but I'm playing the Japanese version.
I mean, this one though, like if you pop it in, like, come on, man, I know the game. Yeah, so this is cool. This is actually, I mean, like, I don't know if I think it's cooler or cooler without, but it is kind of neat that somebody actually used this. So it came with this little sticker sheet insert to put like, let's look at the back. Let's see. So to
Whatever
put
would be
the
useful.
songs in, obviously. No,
Oh,
there's
because
not
it's
notes in
the
the
note
back.
positions.
Yeah, it's in no position. So I was trying to see if there was like an insert section for it. I
Or they
actually
just
don't
put it on
see
another
one.
paper.
Let me see.
But the fact that it was used, but it's still there is I think
There's
it's
still
crazy. Because in
some
the
there.
US, you'd have just tossed it.
Yeah, there's still some there, so it's pretty freaking cool, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but I mean, just down the manual, you got that cool, which is you see that art around now, but it wasn't on the manual for us. So that
Or like
just
we had like wholesale different art, especially in that era of Nintendo, especially when you get to like the NES and the SNES, where it was like
yeah,
wholesale different art.
yeah,
All of
for
Mega
sure.
Man.
Box, everything is different. It's just so cool, man. So cool. Yeah, I was really excited about that. We got this is pretty rad too because it's funny is like I just sent you something about this getting back to the game. Look on Scarlet and Violet guide. He's absolutely sick. It's thick. It's super cool. Have you
It'll
got
be
to look
somewhat
through it yet?
relevant, but
Yeah, I mean
I was like,
it's the
here's your
newest game.
motivation to finish the game. You can't read it, but it's dope for the newest game that they had.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay.
Like I didn't buy one for myself, so I don't know what's in it. But I assume it was kind of like a Pokemon guide or something like that.
Yeah, it's like an actual guide for the game. It's really cool. We got Kirby and the Crystal Shards, the Japanese version. This is really rad too, man. I haven't got to open this one yet because they resealed it on it. So I'm gonna open it up and check it out here soon. but it was
Yeah,
20.
because I know you're a fairly large. I'm not a Kirby fan, but between that, I think I saw something from like the Kirby Cafe that I sent you as well. I was like,
Yes.
this is dope. I was like, that's the only. I think that's one of the only ones that I saw. I can't remember if there was another one or not, but I was
That's
like, yeah,
cool.
Brandon like this.
Can you tell me about the Kirby Cafe? Like, what did you eat
So
there?
some of these, because like the Pokemon Cafe was kind of like sold out, so they'll have like a store, and then some of them will actually have like an actual
Okay.
cafe where you sit down, kind of like I took a picture from like the Monster Hunter Cafe. It's more for like
Yeah.
the experience. Not a lot of food. It's super overpriced, but it's more like the experience while you're
Yeah.
there. You're not there to like fill up. You're there just to be like, hey, I was here, and it's a bunch of stuff that looks pretty cool. But it was an actual like a store. They called it the Kirby Cafe because they sold a lot of cooking related stuff there and different stuff.
So that was in Katakawa, right? According to
That
this.
one, no, the one that I saw that I went to was right next to the Tokyo Skytree.
Oh, okay. The only reason I said that was
There was like a mall on top of the train stop where the actual Skytree was. You notice that for a lot of these major train stations, they'll have like a bunch of shopping like right above it essentially.
I mean,
Like
that kind of
Tokyo
makes
Station
sense.
is massive.
Trying to open this up real quick while you're talking. Yeah,
As well as so like a lot of these stations you'll see it where it's like, hey, on the outside, like you'll use the yen, put in a ticket, because we did it for one of the ramen shops at Tokyo Station. Like it was like a few hundred yen into the machine. You click what you want, it spits it out. You stand in line, and then when they call you in, you just give them the little ticket, and they bring your food to you.
Dang, I was hoping I could open this up. I can't get their packaging is really good. The way
Yeah.
they seal stuff is like really good. They got really good plastic. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
They want everything to stay sealed properly.
yeah, it's cool. So much so I can't even open some
Yeah, some of those
trying
are a pain because it's like most of it's taped. You're sitting here like, I need like a knife or something like that. This is crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I do need a knife because it doesn't have a like an open seal. Well, I'll show it anyway because I'm not sure what it is yet. Maybe you can tell me. But you sent me from the Kirby Cafe. This was the bag he came in, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's I don't know if this is a manga.
I didn't know if it was a manga or something cooking related.
Yeah, I'm not sure because it shows like
I thought it was
for
like
instance, some of the games on the back, like what looks like to be like a manga conversion of it. That's
I thought it was like because they had like a few
the
different ones. I
game.
thought that was like something cooking related, but I don't read Japanese, so I couldn't tell. So I was like,
But it says
maybe
Katakawa
manga.
on it. That's the only reason I asked.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
I was sitting there, I was like, I guess we'll find out when he gets it.
Yeah, I'll have to open it up. I'll probably do like a short or something on it and open it up and check it out, which is really cool. Okay, got. All right, this is pretty sick.
Because I'm sitting here like I don't know, I can't remember everything that I sent you. So
yeah, you sent me some pretty cool stuff, man. I couldn't believe this either. This is sick. Phantasy Star 3 for the Mega Drive.
That's
so
cool.
I
think that's one of the only ones that I saw, but it was for the Mega Drive. So I was like, I'll get this specifically. I was like, because I know you're a big Phantasy Star fan.
Yeah, and I can put this one in, so this is really cool. So the thing about this is more of like a kind of shell piece, like kind of display piece, because obviously it's going to be heavy in Japan, but it's really cool. Matt just asked, what is that Kirby thing? I don't know. I was trying to open it up here. Actually, if you give me a second, maybe I can.
Yeah, you can go grab it. It's so it would pick it. It's either like a cooking related thing or it's like a manga related thing. Pick it up at the Kirby Cafe. I was like, my feet catch on something. So I didn't know. It's just the way they seal their plastic for both games and for some of that stuff. It's you sitting there. It's like no room for it to be accidentally ripped open. You have to like be intentional about it. But I don't know if there were other Kirby cafes. That one specifically was at the Tokyo Skytree. Because where the Tokyo Skytree is, there's like a train station right underneath of it, and then it's like about 4 floors of just different, shopping or just different stuff, which I thought was neat.
This is kind of actually sicker than being a manga. So this is a character guide. This is sick.
Oh, okay.
So look at this. This is going through.
Those things, like I didn't know what it was, but
yeah. So we'll just stop. Like here's playing it Robobot. So off there, one of my favorite games. That's a Kirby game. Funny, I stopped on that. This is really cool, man. It has a little sleeve down here that shows like kind of the advertisements for the other books that they put out, which is really cool. So you got
Yeah, it was kind of like a blind thing for me. It's like I don't know what this is, but I'm
it's
gonna grab
just
it.
sick. Just the bag. Like I'm gonna see the bag. The bag's cool. I don't. It's weird to say this, but like even the bag's better. The bag is feels more like a bag.
Yeah, you know the crazy thing is, and it's whether it's for I don't know if they did it for a lot of these stores. They a lot of them have bags, but the bags cost extra money. It's like 5 yen, 5 or 10 yen, based off the size of the bag. They charge you for all these bags if you want to carry it, even though
So
I had
what
a
is that? Like
backpack.
30 cents?
Probably like for like a small bag like that, it'd be like 5 yen. Maybe a super large one might be 30 yen. They're relatively cheap. It's just the fact that they charge extra money for bags.
You know, I was just looking at this. This is stuff Mark got you from Japan. Yeah, this is stuff Mark got me from Japan. Was just freaking unbelievable. But it's something I just saw on the back of this. It's hilarious on the Kirby. No resale.
Oh,
That's funny. I
even
wonder
though that
why
ends
it
up
is a
being
no
resold
resale.
at like those game stores.
Yeah, I wonder why
Because they
this
had
is a
a
no resale. Because
for
usually it means like a pack-in or something.
for most of those places where you find the games, they have they have like stuff from like old stuff to like all the way up to like modern consoles and stuff like that. They just have various types of games on the shelves and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy because there was more stuff I wanted to buy, but I was sitting here thinking like I'm already spending a lot of money on top of like
Oh yeah.
I don't
Makes
want
so much sense.
I don't want packing all this together is gonna be too much of a pain.
So there is this one. I'm a little. The only reason I was confused. So I know it's Ranma 1/2 gummies, but it's got like this
Yeah,
packaged
that's
thing on the back.
that's a gotcha thing on the back, which is
Oh,
because how much that thing costs probably like $10 for
are you
like
serious?
10 gummies. You buy those and the cookie things for the gotcha stuff that's attached to it, not for the actual gummies. It's just the gummies are nothing special. There's not a
So
whole lot there.
did you get one too?
Yeah, I think I've still got another one.
Do you?
I opened one and I don't know where it's at. But it wasn't too bad because like it's on the back. The food's good till like June or something like that for the gummies. But there's like maybe 10 gummies in here for what you're paying for. But it's the
Yeah, I was curious if you
I
like
was ripping
opened
it
up
and
one
I
of the
just
bags.
straight ripped up. So it's like a little what kind of like little sticker you're gonna get? I guess
Okay,
that's the
that's
one.
pretty cool.
I was about to rip it off and the package just ripped open. So it's like a little
Oops.
gotcha thing on top of it.
That's pretty sick, man. Just the packaging is really cool, and that's Bandai, which so interesting. These video
So
game
it's
companies are so tied to anime
yeah.
too.
My stuff isn't great, so you can't really tell. But there's like
Yeah,
on the back, there's 25 different stickers
that's
that
cool.
you could essentially get. So you'll buy this to try to get whatever you want.
Right.
But it's another one of those things where I said there's a lot of random gotcha, and they attach it to like little snacks as well.
I just think it's crazy. Like we just talked about
Oh,
Sega earlier, but these
sorry.
video game companies are so tied. It's a Bandai
So
Namco release.
I don't know if it'll pop up better for the actual names and stuff like that on that actual cartridge, but on the bottom it has numbers and stuff like that actually shows you the things that you could win
Oh.
on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay. All right,
Because
cool.
usually it'll tell you. So mine was whatever 20 was on the bottom of it.
And this is old school Ron 1/2. This isn't for like the remake,
I'm pretty sure it's
right?
based off the one that just came out because the
Really?
remake just came out this past fall.
The design here sure doesn't look like it. This design,
I mean, it might just be
anyway.
based off the manga design, but it's with the timing with when this is there and how recent the anime was. They
I mean, that
sometimes
makes
they'll line these
sense.
up.
But I mean, the original is it's much popular in Japan than it was here, which is so semi-popular. But
So I'm an idiot.
Matt Long said, "Eat one." I
The
don't know.
gummies are
Mark
good.
actually
So
opened that package up.
I forgot this because I got this at the Pokemon store. I just forgot about it. I don't know how long it's good for, but it was still sealed. It was just buried under
Oh,
my
that's
like a little
cool.
cookie thing. So it's got like the actual like it comes like the whole little cutout and then
That's
actual
cool.
design, which I thought was neat.
I dig that.
But I didn't have these because obviously Gundam's gonna always be popular for these,
Oh, for sure.
and so is like the Yu Hakusho stuff. But obviously, some of the one of the other ones it's new and stuff like that is the actual like Dandadan stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna show. You got me one too.
Actually, I guess I can just pop it open. I don't know if I'll actually eat the cookie or not, but
Oh, it's a cookie. Okay. Yeah, I was feeling it. I was like, there's something in there that's food.
when you actually like open it up, come just open it up real
Okay.
quick. It's like rip the front of it in. It's like it's like a little wafer type
Wafer.
cookie. whatever you want to call it. That smells chocolatey. But you don't buy it for the cookie. You buy it for the little gotcha thing that you can get inside. So this one's I can't remember what his name. So it's like a little character card.
Yeah, that's sick.
This is usually what you buy these for, because the cookie, I can almost guarantee you, a little wafer is gonna be like.
Should I open mine up too and see what card I got?
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, let's open up.
So it's like a cookie. It's like a snack, but for how much you're paying for. I can't remember how much they are. They're like a few bucks. So worth more than what the actual snack is, but that's not why you buy them, because it's a little gotcha game to try to get the little card or whatever they have in it.
Let's see what I got here.
Because the Japanese are obsessed with
Turbo Granny. I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's cool. Really cool, man.
I bought a bunch of those. They weren't like super expensive, but I was like, oh, that's neat. I'll buy a bunch. See what I get.
Yeah, you got me a Gundam one as well. So this is the same thing. It's like wafer that comes with one of the little gotcha cards. That's really cool. And then there's 36 of these versus 25. So 36 for the Gundam. Yeah.
I think I thought I sent one for the Yu Hakusho. It's 33 different little cards that you can get. So it's a reason to come back and keep buying them, whether the wafer is good or not.
One of my favorite anime ever. I love it.
I just thought it was like a neat little thing.
This is a really cool, Mark, because I saw this. I was like, what the heck? Card Captor Sakura card.
That was one of the ones I bought.
Cards. I can't feel if it's like
that's one of the ones I bought exclusive, and I saw. I was like, oh, he's huge into the Card Captor. I don't know what's in that one.
Okay, so these are individual cards for all the characters there.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was based off the size. It's more of like there's like a lot of the anime have like card collecting games.
Feels like doesn't bend. Like I'm trying. So it must be like maybe a metal card or something, or like
there's like a handful of different cards that you can pull.
Does it come with multiple? You can't.
If you want to open it up or you keep it sealed, it's up to you.
I guess so. No, I may want to open it up.
A lot of sell value.
Yeah,
I don't
really care about that. I'm trying to sell it.
Valuable. I thought it was something closer to like whether it's like
multiple cards,
something like that, because a lot of anime and shows have like card collecting stuff.
So they are They are like they're like
the size of the card captor ones.
Yeah, they're like thick boy cards.
There's more like the characters and stuff like that as far as the cards and stuff
go.
That's
sick, man. That is so cool.
I still thought it was neat.
Yeah, those are rad. That is really cool. And then I got one more thing here. No, put these back down. So this is a embroidered sticker. Mega Man.
Like there's a Capcom store that I ran into.
That's so cool.
As far as like those, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff outside of like the embroidered stuff. So I'm like, this is neat. And then the other one like is like a coin thing from Street Fighter 6, I think. I can't remember.
Let's see.
They also had some Monster Hunter stuff there, but I couldn't find anything that wasn't like completely massive in size.
Did I misplace?
And I didn't know exactly like what of the Monster Hunter stuff you would have liked.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is pretty sick too. Yeah, it's like
I didn't know what character you liked, but yeah, I was like,
no, man,
I'll just get the female one that I saw.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I always like main Chun-Li, but
I saw her there.
The females are always I'm better at fighters usually at females because they're more. You got better. I don't know how I say it. They're more acrobatic, got more agility. If that makes any sense. Like I don't like playing big characters in fighters. But yeah, no, this is sick to see. The Mega Man thing is cool, and it's still labeled Rockman, which I love. I love that part. Still labeled Rockman.
The Japanese title of it.
I actually didn't know if they still advertise as Rockman there, like still today, because a lot of the stuff they've kind of. Like how Pokemon was always Pocket Monsters there in the early days. Now it's Pokemon.
It like a universal thing, but I guess for the local market, because that was in an official Capcom store in Japan. So
that's so cool. Yeah, man, that's awesome stuff, dude. I gotta say I am a little jealous. I told you before that you were going there, but yeah, I gotta make a trip there at some point.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it's just have to go with Mark or something, because it's like I don't want to go by myself. I'm not going to go by myself.
Who wants to go by yourself?
Yeah,
a lot of like the traveling's not too bad on the trains.
Sure.
The hotels, depending on like where you stay, aren't the best. Some of them are really small though.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, because for me, I think I spent around $1,600 round trip for the flight. Like that was like one of the most expensive. Like I bought a bunch of stuff that was expensive intentionally, but that was always planned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
traveling, I
definitely,
don't
whether
care
it's a
about
few
that.
days or something like that, it's definitely an experience, and that's just more the touristy Akihabara, a few different malls and stuff like that that just sold neat stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it was an awesome time. It's cool that you got to go, man. I'm glad you got to get away and do something that's
Didn't really get to see uh the mountain. I'm blanking on the name now.
oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I can't
I'm
Mount
blanking on the
Fuji?
name. Yeah, Mount Fuji. I saw it like the first day we were going from Chiba driving into Tokyo just because it was off in the distance. But it was like when we were taking the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka, got seats where you could see the mountain, and then it was cloudy and rainy that whole day, so I didn't see anything.
Well, hey, man, you still got to see some cool stuff, though, it sounds like. It sounds like,
That was
some of
still
the
an
places you got
experience.
to visit was cool. Yeah, that's rad, man. That's really rad.
And the one thing
Um,
you realize, because I think people talk about it all the time, is with the amount of people in public, it's surprisingly quiet compared to like how it is in the US. Like
yeah,
the trains during rush hour being like you're squeezed in there is like a legit thing. Not to the point
yeah,
where you're pushed, but it gets like really packed in there if you
packed,
if you're
yeah.
in rush hour.
Let me ask you, did you see any of the dumb live streamers that are currently ruining Japan as we speak?
In person, no. I mean, you see people with cameras, but it was more like recording stuff
Well, the
or taking
American
pictures.
tourist live streamers that are,
None that I saw
gotta
standing out.
dance in the middle of the street, block some traffic. Oh my god, just watch a whole video
I
about
mean,
that
you talk about
yesterday.
that. 'Cause I don't know how much of the news made it here, but, like, I
The
was
the
in Shinjuku when it happened, that female live
the
streamer
hearing.
that was killed in Shinjuku a few days ago.
Oh,
Like, I was
I heard
in
about that.
Tokyo, in Shinjuku when that actually happened, when she was killed. Apparently, she owed somebody a bunch of money, told him, "I'm not gonna pay you back," and then he
Oh,
just kinda like, "Screw you." So she was, like essentially, she was, unalived, while she was, like, live streaming. It was, like, a big thing.
that's
Just because
crazy. I didn't hear about that.
murder is not, like, a regular thing in Japan or even in Tokyo. Like, it happens, but, like, how it happened and stuff like that, it was, like, all over the news.
Did you see the Asmongold did a reaction to it, but did you see the hearing that happened where they were directly referencing both Assassin's Creed and they were referencing the live streamers? This just happened this week.
I
So
don't know.
there's
What was
actual
the
government
exact
hearing. I don't know what they call it there.
Oh, the Assassin's Creed stuff and the diet?
Diet?
The Japanese diet? That's their Congress.
No, I didn't see that. This was
They were
this
talking about I mean, I heard about the Assassin's Creed stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. But they were also like referencing the tourism and whether they should block off the country and whether they
Yeah,
want
so
less
from
tourists.
I don't remember when exactly, 'cause they've been talking about this for a while. Uh, Essentially, they're having more tourism than they expected. So I think they said around, what, 30 billion a year was what they were expecting, but I think last year was
Yeah.
close to, like, 39 billion in tourism revenue, and the problem is, it's like, is it getting to a point where there's just too much? It's like,
They
they can
literally
only handle so
referenced
much.
it being a pollution in the actual hearing. They were
Well,
like,
yeah,
"This is a
because
pollution."
you have more, essentially, the idea is you have more people coming in than you can actually handle, so
Yeah.
it's a strain on the local economy. The problem is, and you see it, like, a lot from the US, is the yen's just really weak to the dollar right now, so going to a place like Japan's actually, like, if you're gonna go, you go now while the dollar's relatively
Right.
strong. Because when I was in
Right.
Okinawa a few years ago, it was around 112 yen to a dollar, and right now, it's around 145 to 150 yen to a dollar. So the dollar,
Yeah.
you can essentially, you're saving money right now,
Right.
when you convert the money. So it's one of those things. But I mean, some of this is probably just an immediate backlog of people that were stuck or couldn't travel during COVID lockdowns and
COVID,
stuff
yeah.
like that, or probably would have been more staggered. But they were talking the same thing about getting rid of the tax-free tourism stuff like that, because you see it all over the place. One of the incentives for tourism is you buy stuff, and some places will it's tax free. So if you spend like, $150, $200, you can save a decent amount of money without the tax. You're saving like, 15, $20. So it adds up.
Zapdos said, "I want to go to Japan. Should I go soon?" I mean, I would say
I guess
probably,
go whenever you can. I guess
yeah,
I technically went not at peak season. Usually that's the summer's like peak tourism season, but like
yeah,
just go whenever you can. It wasn't. I mean, it was cloudy and rainy on and off, but I mean, I had a decent time. I say just go what you can, do what you can afford, budget it properly and stuff like that. Don't obviously don't put yourself in debt, but like
yeah,
if it's something you want to do, I'd say do it. Just understand where you stand with financially, because it's
for
not,
sure.
even if you
It's gonna
wanted like
be,
a decent hotel, it's not cheap and stuff like that. Because you can get like equivalent like prices in Japan, but the problem is outside of the beds, there's very very little room in some of those hotel
yeah.
rooms. If you have like a lot of bags,
I guess the most expensive part is obviously flying. How much did you spend round trip flying? Do
it
you know?
wasn't the cheapest. You could probably get close to $1,300-$1,400 round
Yeah,
trip flying.
kind of what I
Because I
expected.
I paid for the extra baggage that I know I was gonna need, so I paid a little bit more and stuff like that. I think I spent around $1,600 on the round trip. I
It's
ended up using,
yeah,
well, I went through Expedia, and I think I was through United was who I ended up flying through.
okay.
It wasn't terrible. I also paid extra to pick my seat because I prefer an aisle seat on flights. Uh,
Oh, for
so
sure.
it's easier to get up and having to go through people. Some people prefer a window seat. I prefer the aisle seat just
Yeah,
so it's
same.
easier to stretch your legs. So I paid a little extra here or there, but depending on like how much you get on the tax refund, you probably are going to sit around 1,500 is like a decent price range. But it also depends on how far out you're booking your flight, who you're going through, and stuff like that. When like the time of day you're flying, like if you don't mind flying at like landing at like 10 o'clock at night when you get there or something like that, or abnormal flight times, because if you don't know a whole lot about flying, the time of day of when you fly affects the prices as well. Like if you want like
Yeah,
an ideal flight time and stuff like that, like
gonna cost you more.
like there's certain time frames where people want to fly, and those are more expensive compared to like if you were to fly out of someplace domestically in the US. If you flying out at like 8 a.m. is gonna be more expensive than flying out at like 10 o'clock at night or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
that
take
makes
that
sense.
into account as well.
Matt Long Six said, "How much Japanese can you speak?"
Compared to like 4 years ago, it's essentially non-existent now. I brain dumped most of what I have, which kind of sucks. But
I did the same.
if
Yeah,
you're
I
in
mean,
like the major cities, you can more or less get around without really knowing anything for the most part. Because like in the subways, there's English in a lot of like tourist heavy areas. There's people that either know English or there's a lot of stuff on signs. Obviously, the more you know, the better. But if you're just going there just for tourism, you're going to like areas where you generally deal with like a lot of tourists.
yeah.
It's not gonna be like a massive problem unless you're trying to like look at like games or manga that's all in Japanese. You're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of those, yeah, like complete sides, like
Like the
the
only thing that I remember from some of the Japanese classes I took when I was in Okinawa was like grammar and stuff like that, like certain rules, but the actual language, it's one of those things where spending 3 years in Wyoming, I just brain dumped everything because I haven't used it.
there's a lot of these. I've seen a lot of Japanese game stuff over the years, where a lot of them will be straight Japanese. You'll have no idea what it is on the side if you're looking at the spine. So
Oh,
it's like,
especially like if it's a Japanese based game, even for newer games and stuff like that, it'll all be in Japanese. Like all
yeah,
the Zelda stuff that I saw that was like new for like the Switch and some of those stores was just straight Japanese.
yeah,
The only way you knew it was Zelda because of the images, but more like the international games, they actually had like English subtitles and stuff like that.
for
So it
sure.
just depends on the branding of the game and how old it is. Some of the older stuff will just be all straight Japanese regardless. Some of the newer stuff they'll mix in like English and stuff with it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we'll go ahead and get. I got to figure out what we're going to go through on the news here because we're at 9:20 now.
Yeah, it's been a decent amount of time just
Yeah, it's good. All right, I guess we can kind of steamroll through the small news real quick because the other stuff is the bigger news we got is kind of the stuff I wanted to actually like talk to you about.
yeah.
So first thing, nothing big here, but people are outraged that there's a new what's it called? Arc Survival Evolved.
Survival Evolved.
Yeah. AI trailer. It was a complete AI trailer. I was like looking at the trailer and stuff, and I was like, this is very clearly like AI. It says it's 98% AI generated trailer. So people obviously are kind of back and forth on, the AI stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, obviously, we've talked about it before. AI is here to stay regardless, but how much of it do you actually? Because while AI's come a long way and straight AI stuff looks a lot better than it did even like 2 years ago, it still is very obviously AI and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But and if you've never played Ark Survival Evolved, it's kind of like if you know anything about Rust, it's the same style of game as like Rust. It's like
Yeah.
straight PvP, PvE survival and stuff like that, base building stuff like that.
Yeah. It's one of those
I guess
like
I don't know. The only
build
thing you could
like
see is how much of the actual game would be AI. Then, or just like an expansion, or is it just like something they did for the trailer?
this isn't it's like an expansion. It's like a drop that they're doing for the game. So I mean it's like nothing big, but I mean it brings up the point of how much you want incorporate this is obviously advertising for the game, so it isn't actually the game. So it's how much AI do you want involved in this stuff? Like are these I guess the point would be for some people, are these companies gonna get lazy now with the AI generated stuff being there? I mean, to some people it's gonna matter more, obviously. I don't know,
Yeah,
it depends on how you
maybe people
are.
that are more into the art scene and stuff like that don't like it, but
Yeah,
I think
right,
it's a
right, right.
to for whatever reason, and the AI art in probably like 10 years, it'll be very hard to distinguish between
Yeah,
actual
well,
art just because of how quickly it's advancing and it's learning. And I don't outright hate AI art. I've seen some stuff that sometimes you like for the hand drawn stuff. Sometimes you like, I know this is straight AI, but it doesn't look like completely terrible. I think the first and foremost, you need to like disclose like the that you're using AI and
yeah,
how much of it's used. And I get how people don't like this in the industry, but these are businesses, and this is going to save them some money with at least having artists that are also using AI. But obviously, like if people don't like it, you have to like push back on it. So if heavy AI like art and games, if it sells well, they're obviously they're gonna push that way. But if it does, it's one of those things. What's the bottom line based off of
yeah.
the risk? Like the more we use it, we can save money here. Are we losing it on actual game sales? Though I would argue when it comes to video games, the art direction or AI isn't going to fix the problems that Western games are having. That's more of like a writing issue, which I
Yeah,
guess in some ways AI could.
my thing is like for something like this, I guess to me, I'm kind of a trailer. I don't know. I don't care as much, but what I don't like it for is like, for instance, like an album cover or maybe a video game cover, like that. You can still tell that it's AI right now. So I don't like the taking away from artists for stuff like that. Like say it was I don't know. We'll just say it because I got it right here. The Metroid Prime Hunters. Like I wouldn't want the AI, cover for that necessarily.
It would look
Um,
different.
it would look different. It would for sure look different, 100%. But
I do
we're
have
moving
one.
forward, obviously, with the AI stuff. So
I was trying to pull something up real quick because I did have one quick
yeah,
question. As I pulled this up real quick to ask you, like, what's better as far as like the AI art? Oh, where is it at?
he's gonna try to find it. Matt Long said, "Supply and demand. If we don't buy it, they will either advance AI faster or stop using it." Yeah, for sure. The Minecraft movie, April 4th, does it look bad? Oh my
I
god,
think
you
it
don't want
looks
to hear me talk.
terrible, but
Oh my god, it looks
I'm kind
so.
of biased.
I was at the store today and I saw the toys for it in an
It just
aisleway, and
doesn't
I was like,
fit.
oh, oh my god, is this real? Is
This
this real
movie should have
life?
been like what they did with the Mario movie. It just should have been fully digitally animated. Would have fit the aesthetic of the world. And I think the casting's terrible, but that's just my
Bro,
personal
Jack
opinion.
Black, like the figures for him, I was like, is this real life? Like, are they really selling this? Because this is just going to end up in landfills, bro. Like, these are so bad.
This movie's
These are
it's
so
either gonna do
bad.
extremely well or it's gonna just utterly bomb at the box office. It's gonna be one of the two.
It's like I don't know because
But no, I wanna ask, what's better, this art or AI? What would you take? 'Cause, I mean, to be fair,
you
this
know,
is god
um,
awful art.
it is god
Iconic,
awful,
but god awful.
but because it's so god awful, like I kind of love it. And like it's so bad, it's a good way because it's like that. It's obviously horrible. It doesn't represent Mega Man at all. It never has.
Especially
And the
compared to what
Mega Man
the
2
Japanese
cover,
one was.
the Mega Man 2 cover isn't much better. Like it's not much better, but it's one of those things where I'm like kind of attached to it because it's like silly and stupid. Would
But
it
if
be better with
they
AI art?
let me ask you
Probably.
this, like, go back and this is like a brand new art that you just got. Would you take this over take out, like, the nostalgia for it? Like, if
Yeah.
you would
Would I
just
pick
bought the
this
game
up
today with this art on it.
to get this brand new Mega Man? Probably not.
I guess it's hard to try to put your
Realistically,
mind in, like, 92 or
I'm
something like
just
that.
guessing. Like if I saw this at the store for the first time, like probably not. Probably not.
But the
Probably pick
problem
up
now is
Contra or something else.
you've been influenced by box art now, so it's kinda
Yeah,
hard to, like, take that
it
away from you
is.
and stuff like
But
that.
if I was a kid, like looking at that, probably not. I probably wouldn't pick it up. I mean, to be honest with you, and like the Mega Man 2 cover, like it's better, but it's really not better. It's really not better. Um, Landfill, like the Buzz Lightyear toys. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I probably all that stuff I think is going to probably end up in landfills. If I had that as a kid, like I would be pretty disappointed seeing. I
No, but
mean,
I'd say, like, something you AI wouldn't give you something like this, which I think really looks good as far as, like, some
yeah, it looks
the
great.
older box art. Like, this is just as dated, but this is actually, like, some really good
It's
art the
really good
opposite of
box
it.
art for the NES. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's classic.
I guess
Absolutely.
it depends on, like, what you're looking for, 'cause you think of, like, r iconic box art, you're thinking some of these older games and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Final Fantasy,
Like,
I'm
this is
definitely picking up
different than
Golden
what
Axe.
probably
I would pick
Japan
up.
got, but it's still iconic. You can tell somebody, like, put a lot of thought and
It's
effort into
very
it.
Western art. Yeah, Japan got a different cover, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. I mean, even looking back at some of those Atari games, like the box art itself, like disregarding the game, the box art is like so badass, man. It's so good. Like, look at that
This is one of
Gradius
those
there.
other iconic games from
Look at
Konami.
that. It's so
Never
good.
played it, but that's like a really good box art. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on in that scene. Better than the actual game, I'd argue, but
Yeah, it's really, really good box art for sure.
so it's
And
hard
side by
because a
side
lot of
comparison with the
modern
game
a lot
for
of a lot of art, it's like hand drawn, but it's like taken from the actual game world. It's not something like we used to get where it was like an artist just was given a description and they had to like come up with something that was neat, but obviously it wasn't one for one with the games. Could just be straight like pixel art,
yeah.
which they didn't want
Well,
to do. So
what was crazy is like you look at some of those Atari box arts and like they're so good, like so good. Some of those are just, I mean, they're just amazing. Like I love the cover of so many of those, but like you put the game in, you're just like, this is not good. You know what I mean? Like there were so many of those that were just like not great. Like there's definitely some I like, but a lot of them were just like, oh man, this sucks. The game itself
yeah, right. I don't know
didn't
how
represent the cover doesn't represent the game at all, but
you
it's
guys
like
do
it's
some of
just
these
so iconic.
different like Atari games and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess
like some of the box arts
the
is just
Pac-Man is like probably the closest to being the actual
yeah, it
game.
really is. It really is too. It's so that version of Pac-Man is so bad. Like look at the haunted house one, for instance. Like the you got it up on your screen
Where
there next to Warlords.
uh,
Down two. Up over.
uh,
Right. Right there.
oh, there we go. I couldn't. I was struggling
Yeah,
with
like the haunted house one there, really cool. Yeah, there's so many of those that were just like really good. Like, I mean, you look at the generalized one there that you have, it's like not a cover, but it's Atari art there. Like it just the art was so good. Like Yard's
oh, there.
Revenge, the art for that, for instance. Yeah, that one there. Yeah, I mean, and like Yard's Revenge, which I do think is actually a really good game on Atari. But the cover is just so good. I mean, like some of them are way better than they should be.
Like they're pretty neat for some of these box arts to just
Yeah,
look
look at that. Look
design
at that. I mean, that's cool.
for games that could never look this good just because of how old
Yeah,
they are and the
they
hardware.
just couldn't. The technology wasn't there, but it was just very iconic for me. And yeah, the way the comment on your screen is covering. Oh yeah, I see that now. Yeah, because the way we had it there. But hey, appreciate you hanging out with us, Matt Long Six. Go give him a sub there. Appreciate all his support and hanging out with us last week and stuff. Okay, so let's see what we got that's like worth hitting right now. All right, so we got one here since we both like it. March 27th, there's a massive update for Pokemon TCG Pocket. We got the Shining Reverie booster pack is going to be coming out. Bring shiny Pokemon, ranked PvP, and special missions. Expansion includes shiny versions of Charizard EX, Lucario EX, Pachirisu, and new Pokemon like Wiglet and Varoom, which I think is a dumb Pokemon, personally. But got new trainers and Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet will also debut in Shining Reveille. So I think that sounds like a pretty big update to me.
Yeah,
We got a trailer
they
for it
actually have
here. Okay,
they have
cool.
the trailer if I could pull it up.
Heck
I
yeah.
mean, it's good because actually getting physical Pokemon cards is, like, impossible right now unless you're trying to pay, like, 3 times MSRP.
Exactly.
'Cause I think
Exactly.
I shared an article, I don't know if you threw it on here, 'cause I think I was in Japan still at the time, about, like, some of these Japanese stores.
Yeah.
Like, they'll sell you new packs, but they get ripped before they sell them. So the packs are
Oh.
you have to buy packs opened, which definitely when it comes to reselling is,
Oh,
well,
that's
what's
like
the value of these physical
pointless.
cards? Well, no, like, the package is just ripped, so you can't resell the package at a higher price.
Oh, I gotcha.
Essentially,
Okay. I
you
gotcha.
you don't necessarily open the cards, but the boxes will actually be ripped ahead of time.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it's like an active way to buy it. So, like, you can't buy ETBs, or it'll get opened, the packs
Right.
will get opened. They'll at the very least, they get forcefully ripped,
Let me
so
ask you, do they
essentially
open
you can't
them
resell it.
in
You have
front
the
of you?
cards and stuff. From what I
Like, do
understand, because the big one was one in Singapore, I think, and there was a handful of stores, and I think it's in Japan. It was they like, "This sucks, but to combat the only active good way we can combat, scalpers is the packs are already opened, so it's still new for you. You can go back and then open it, and
yeah.
it's still blind for you. But the idea is, well, the pack's open, so with people that are going to go buy these, you can't trust that they've not been tampered with, which is the
Yeah.
big thing when it comes to, like, resale. It is tampering, which is which would kill it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's a good way to combat it. Like, that would never happen here, obviously. Like, especially you're buying at like a Target or Walmart or
But
whatever,
these are
any of those type
also,
of stores.
just to clarify, these were actually happening at official Pokemon stores. Official Pokemon stores are doing that.
They could do
And
that
then you
here,
also
just like
saw it, 'cause you could buy, like, I didn't buy it, but you could have bought some of the Japanese Pokemon cards there.
yeah.
What they did is they didn't leave them out, but you had to get, like, a little tag to then go buy the actual individual packs. Like, they would only sell individual packs for you at the actual store.
Okay.
And they kept
Interesting.
it behind, glass and stuff like that
Yeah.
to kinda help, minimize it, and I'm pretty sure they probably had, like, a hard limit on how much you could probably buy for those
You know, it's
just to help
crazy.
combat it.
It used to be, this is speaking here, obviously, but it used to be like Japanese Pokemon cards weren't worth anything. Like, I had a whole bunch of them. They were
Well,
like,
because, like, most people couldn't
they
read
weren't
it, so you
worth
couldn't
anything.
actually use them and stuff like that.
Right. But now, because a lot of people are just buying for like the art and to either grade or just display or whatever, like there's a lot of Japanese Pokemon cards that are worth a lot of money now. So even the Japanese ones are being bought by, like, just for instance, like Lionheart, he's like probably
Yeah,
the
but I'd still
big
say
OG Pokemon.
I had an easier time finding Pokemon cards in Japan all over the place than I do here in the US, where it's just my local GameStop just stopped selling them outright. It's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee said it's crazy how people are getting over these cards. It is, and it's like it makes
Like,
me
it's
not
always
want to
been
be
a
interested in the hobby at all because I was
that's
like,
the
I went to go
problem.
buy the new set. This was about a month ago. I was like, I want to go buy this. So there was already like 4 people lined up there, gone. They didn't even get enough of them. They had a limit of 2. They're all gone. Couldn't
I think
get
the other
in.
problem is the printing capacity is kinda crap, to be honest, with how they wanna do it versus how much it's buying, but the problem is eventually the market's artificially skyrocketing because of this, and eventually people are just gonna leave the hobby, and then it's gonna kinda crater out. Like, the scalping is always
Wonder
gonna be
when.
there, but eventually, like, the amount that it's being scalped, it's not gonna be profitable forever because 'cause you're just driving people away from the hobby,
I'll
which
say at
to
least
some
right
degree
now.
probably does. There's too many people involved versus how little Nintendo can actually or
Yeah.
Game Freak can actually print the cards and stuff like that, but it's just, the demand's higher than the supply right now,
I mean, you see
which is
the
the ultimate problem.
videos of people just recently. We're talking 2025, going crazy over the boxes and stuff, and pulling out each other's hands and jumping over
The other
top of
problem
it.
is
Like,
the other way is you need to, like, forcefully say, "You can only buy X amount of cards. We're not
right,
gonna do this
should
stuff."
be how it is. But when it comes to like big box retail stores, I don't think they have that limit, as
I
far
don't
as
think
I'm
they care.
aware.
To them, it's just money's money. They don't care.
Exactly. Right. Right. That's the problem, and I mean, that's the big problem. It's like, but it just it kind of pushed me out of the hobby, and I'm like, you know what, Pokemon TCG Pocket will be enough for me right
Which
now
is
because
crazy because if you wanted it, you could right now collect the bulk of a set under, like, $100 because most of those cards are worth pennies.
right. Mr. Coffee just asked, are the cards in the packs worth this much trouble?
Let's be
Most of them
fair,
aren't.
there's a handful of chase cards that people are going after with these
Like
packs.
the Sylveon right
Most
now.
cards are gonna be worth under $20. There's very few cards are gonna be, like, even
Very
over
few.
$10, and those are the special illustration arts. If you just want the base set, you could probably buy all of those secondhand for pennies because 'cause they're just not worth anything. They're
Yeah.
such a common card.
It was like 1 in 90,000 or something for the Sylveon card, which is the one like people are really trying to pull right now. It's
Yeah.
they're saying it's gonna be like
And
that
each set
new.
has what's called a chase card. Those are the cards that are worth the
Yeah.
money, either for their competitiveness or just because they're popular cards for Pokemon and they're really hard to pull. But most of the cards in a pack, like if you got a card that's worth $20, you got a really decent pull for most packs, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because most of the cards are just not worth the money. You could buy most of them secondhand and not really it'd be cheaper than buying like a whole like a $60 box. You could still you'd get the equivalent probably what you're getting, just not the chase
Right.
card, not probably most of the arts. And to be fair, depending on the cards, a lot of those cards of value also rests in getting them graded to like a 9 or a 10, drives up the value as well.
Yeah.
Compared if you have it, or if you don't mind getting like a chase card that's like a little damaged, like if you just want the card, if you buying a damaged version of it will usually drive down the price.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this will be a pretty cool update though. I think it's
Yeah, I'm still chasing the new one right now. I think I'm
the
missing
gold.
like 6 of the base set cards for this one.
I
The
still need
other
the
the other
gold
sets I'm still
Arceus.
kind of chasing here or there, but I mean, I'm still paying the thing, so I'm opening like 3 packs a day.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like I keep because you're just pulling the one single pack, right? Like you don't have the options for the other packs. I am not pulling like I got the
Well,
origin form Palkia today, which for some reason I haven't been able to pull.
I
But I
finally
can't
got
pull the
both
Raichu.
the, Dialga and the Palkia, the special video ones. I finally got both of
I
those.
don't have either.
But for the new one, it was kinda like the jungle one that had, like, 70 some cards in it.
Yeah.
I was just going all in because it's just there's less cards, so it's easier to get the base 75 or 77, whatever
Well,
cards
see,
it is, to get those, compared to, like, the 150, 160 where it's like, eventually, I'm gonna have to use my pack points to collect what I'm missing.
yeah, I've only got 455 pack points, but I'm like looking at it. I'm
Because for
like,
the,
I'm not pulling any new. I pulled one new card today. I don't think I pulled any new cards this whole week.
this is the same grind with opening Pokemon card packs. Like, if you really wanted to, like, collect some unless you're going for, like, certain cards,
Yeah.
I'd open, like, no more than, like, 2 of the trainer boxes, essentially, like, 20 some packs. Because after that, the return on investment, unless you want to get the chase card, I would usually go after 2 of the packs, around 20 some cards. Because after that, it's just cheaper to get the individual.
Yeah.
You start after a while, only 2 of the cards you're gonna pull will be good, and one's probably gonna be, like, a reverse art, and one might be a good card. Eventually, you're gonna hit a point where only the hit card would be what you're going after because 'cause you've gotten all the commons and uncommons and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
After
weirdly can't
after a
pull
while, it's like if you wanted the actual pack, I think I'd open like 20 to 30 some packs for a set, and then I just buy the individual cards to kinda like finish it out. But that's just me.
I weirdly can't pull the just regular shiny Raichu to finish off this mission. I'm trying to find it here.
Is that
Um
for the small one right now? I was trying to you said that, I was like,
it's
"I don't
just
even let
a
me
like
focus on that."
basic card, but I can't pull it. Like I haven't seen it one time in Wonder Pick.
Like, could you
Trying to
say
find
that,
out.
I
So
guess?
it's for this just to finish off this Links with Arceus quest here, but like it's just a
Yeah, because
daggone
for
just
the,
this Raichu here.
I think I pulled it because for the Triumphant Light, I'm sitting at 69 of the 75 base set, and I've got 5 of the special illustration ones. Because for the special illustration ones, I've got the, what's it? The Garchomp EX card. Oh my god, I hate how this app works sometimes. I got a bunch of the Unknown and the Magnemites. I got the Sudowoodo and then the Houndoom and stuff like that.
I have to do some trades with you because I don't have
I don't know. I don't think I have the Raichu. No, just the base Raichu. I thought I had another
I
one
don't
for
have
one
the
of those things.
base shiny Raichu. I don't have that. I can't get it for some reason. I can't
Oh
pull it.
no, the Raichu that I had was one of the promo card Raichus that I pulled.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking because I pulled it pretty recently.
Mm,
Because
this-
yeah, I'm only missing 6 of that set because I just went hard for Triumphant Light. For
That's all I've been pulling, but I for some reason,
for
there's some of
a
the base
Space
set I'm
Time
missing.
Takedown, and I got a card from you for the Wonder Picks out of that set. I'm sitting at like 138 out of 155 with 22 of the star cards. So I'm getting close to probably being able to buy the bulk of what I'm missing because I'm only missing 2 in Genetic Apex of the base set, but I'm at the point where I'm like I'm
Yeah,
out. I'll use my pack points to buy those, and I won't have anything for any of the
yeah,
special illustration. But I'll at least have the base set, which was like my
right.
goal because going without spending actual real money, getting all the special illustrations in this game is just it's not possible with the amount like every few months with the new set coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee said grading is another rabbit hole you don't want to fall in from PSA. Back at SGC, each one, same type of card, will have different valuation. At least with sports cards at the end of the season, value packs are a good return on valuation. And he said the other day I saw Walmart selling Squishmallow card packs and they sold out the next day.
That's crazy. I'll say this:
Bro.
the grading, and
Oh
this
my
is like a
god.
personal opinion because some people disagree. I see grading is only worth it for certain cards if you're trying to resell them.
Yeah, if you're
If you
trying to
have 0
resell them
interest in
for
reselling it,
sure.
just you can either get your own little case or you just need the top loaders and then just, you can keep it safe yourself at home. Like if I don't see the value because I've got no interest in reselling, so why would I waste,
Yeah.
money? And to be fair, for most of the cards, you're gonna be at a loss if you get the grade. Even if you got like a PSA 10, most card of the value versus how much it's gonna cost you to mail it in and get it back and stuff like that, the value is just not worth it. Outside of like those chase cards that are over $100 are the only ones that are gonna like maintain any kind of like value on their return for grading.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
only and you need at least a 9 or a 10. Anything lower and it's not worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, a lot of people are looking to resell, like, I guess, I understand if you're trying to do that, then,
Because to be fair, you can get like PSA 9 and 10 cards for like 20, $30 because that's their value. And it's one of those things where it's like, why'd you get this graded? It's you probably lost money getting this grade unless you sent them in bulk with other cards that were like worth it.
yeah, for
I
sure.
get it. Some people just want graded like a 5 or a 6 because they're cheap and you want a certain card. But to me, I'm like, I just don't see the value in it. It's super bulky. Maybe you can if you want it on a shelf or something like that. But to me, I've always seen it as kind of like it's not worth it unless you're into like resell. Because if you're just gonna keep the cards, you don't care about the value. You just want cards that you want.
Yeah, so a couple of these I'm just gonna zoom through a couple of these small news that we got real quick because 'cause we're already at, getting close to the 2-hour mark, so we can hit the big news. Just, we got Monster Hunter confirms, update 1 showcase date and time, so we got, obviously, Mizutsune is coming for the first title update is the next big monster, which is gonna be really cool. Um it says release date is expected to be revealed during the stream for the following stuff, but we've got it's like March 25th at 10 a.m. So just a few days away. They're going to be showcasing some of this other stuff. So they said they are going to have continued support through patches and new content. It's going to be similar to how they did Worlds and Rise. So it looks like I was a little concerned because it was like we knew about one monster for spring and they said there's one mystery monster for summer. I'm like, that's it. But it looks like they're going to be doing it the same way they did with Worlds and Rise, where it's going to be they're going to drip feed the new content out. So there is going to be more, which is good. So we'll see during this unveil, and then we'll talk about it again next week. So that'll be cool to see what comes from that. We also got Nintendo Switch added 4 new SNES games to Nintendo Switch Online, which was Lord of Darkness. We got, let me pull this thing up here. We got Nobunaga's Ambition, Romance of Three Kingdoms 4, and then we got New Horizon. So these are all Koei Tecmo games, which is pretty interesting. But there's a couple bangers on here, a couple cool stuff. You show some of the screenshots there, but yeah, it's got a couple good things on there for sure. And then 2 of those I've never played, so I'll be interested to check those out and see how those are. But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty interesting update there for all Koei Tecmo games. Pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a talk about a blast from the past for them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's cool. I mean,
I
the see
felt
4
like
new games on
I don't know if
there's
they remade Nobunaga's Ambition. I thought I saw another game that was titled that.
I mean, there's a bunch of games that reference Nobunaga.
Because I saw that. Oh yeah, it is. So there, like, apparently it's like a whole. Hang on, let me swap
He's
it over.
apparently like a piece. I don't know if I should say this or not. But he's apparently not like a good person.
I mean, that's like most warlords in history, to be fair.
He's fairly like a real crappy person. I was like
That's
listening to a
most
thing about him the
to
other
come
day.
to power in the ancient world, you kinda had to be
Yeah.
ruthless. So this is the one I was thinking of, that I've seen before, or I used to have for the PS4, was
Oh,
this one. Apparently, it's like one of their,
it's like a
like a whole
series.
series. This was like Spheres of Influence and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know
Like,
this.
they've, adapted the series to, like, newer
Yeah.
stuff. This came out in 2015. It's in an
Huh.
83 on Steam, so
That's pretty cool to see. Yeah, I had no idea it was like a long running series.
neither did I, but you said that, I'm like, I saw a game at one point. I think I had it, didn't really play it a whole lot, but I was like, that title sounds familiar. So I was like, oh, apparently it was like an actual thing at one
It's
point.
definitely one of those ones where it's like that's one of the ones I haven't played. I don't think I'd probably like it, but I'll definitely try it.
Yeah. It's just you said that, I'm like, that sounds like very familiar. Like, is that an actual game?
I mean,
Apparently
look at
it's
that.
a
It
TV
looks
series.
like too overly complicated for me.
It's
I
more
mean,
of
it
like
looks
a strategy game. Is
yeah,
what
it's
it
a
looks like.
strategy game for sure. Um, yeah, looks interesting. That's pretty cool to see. It was actual like long run series.
That's a trailer with no actual like gameplay.
Mr. Coffee said I spent way too many hours playing the strategy games, and the actual carts are pretty expensive. I mean, that's a good thing about these games being brought on there for people to play is like, a lot of these people will never check out unless it's on there, and
Oh,
it's cool to see. I mean, there looks like they seem to be really building up the catalog here now this year with different games being added. What we got here?
I'm gonna zoom in on this really, but apparently there's a lot of
Oh,
games.
it's
You've
just gonna
got
be Christmas.
you got one from 83, Nobunaga's Ambition. I think that's the actual one.
Yeah.
86, 88. Like, there's a lot of these games throughout the years
Whoa.
they've had. Going all the
Wow. This is a
way.
real
Oh,
Pokemon
Awakening came out in
Conquest.
22.
Yeah, I played the crap out of Pokemon Conquest. I love that game.
Yeah, that's crazy that they had a
Didn't know it was
like,
a Nobunaga's Ambition. Like,
there's
I
so
mean,
many
it
of
was
these games. Like, the bulk of them came out like around 2005, and
what's crazy? That
down.
Pokemon Conquest game is like $120 game now, physical. It's like
What was
pretty
that?
expensive.
Oh, it was a DS game.
Yeah, what's weird is this came out right before the 3DS came out, so it was like an end of life game. I guess this was in this is like right the 3DS might have already. Let me see when the 3DS came out. I can't remember. It was 2012 or 2014.
Yeah, it's a DS, so the image not the best, but it's one of those.
Oh
Like,
yeah, so
turn-based,
this came
like,
out when the 3DS was already out. The 3DS came out in 2011. So this was one of those ones where they always drop these Pokemon games when the next console or handheld was already out, and it's like
yeah,
nobody picked it up, so now it's worth a lot of money.
because they
You
didn't
know?
sell a whole lot of copies.
Didn't sell. Yeah, people weren't buying it. They're like, I'm on to the 3DS. But I guess since we were just talking about, I thought this was really interesting because we just talked about Digimon when you were on last, and obviously with the success of Pokemon TCG Pocket, we got Digimon Elysium, a new digital trading card game. It's coming to mobile devices, so we got a Digimon version of this is coming out now. They announced this at Digimon Con 2025, which just happened. Yeah, here we go.
That's crazy.
This is crazy, but they got to capitalize on the they got to capitalize
hype
while they
around
can.
Pokemon and stuff like that.
Exactly, just like they did for when Pokemon came out. Like the
It
whole
looked like a mix
concept
of,
of
like, they're
Digimon.
actually trying to, like, sell you on actually, like, playing the actual, the
Yeah,
card game.
it looks to be a lot more in depth than the Pokemon
Apparently,
TCG
it's
Pocket.
like some, like, RPG elements for some of these actual characters, though, it looks like.
These
More
are
than
like
one,
pretty cool
Pokemon.
designs for the characters, though. I'm not gonna lie, pretty good actually.
I assume these are all new characters from, because they
Yeah, I
don't.
don't
Well, I
recognize
haven't
them.
watched all of Digimon. I've, like, passively followed the show throughout the years.
I don't even recognize that Digimon.
Oh, yeah, you might
Oh,
recognize these.
here's all the originals. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you gonna check it out, or
I might at the very least check it
I
out.
might check it out too.
Give it
Okay,
a
it's
shot.
while it's a little corny that it comes out, right after Pokemon TCG Pocket comes out, it's still a little interesting. This one, I guess this is the last small news we'll bring up here because I want to hear your take on this. The physical copies of Concord are being resold for as much as $2,250 on eBay. Limited edition Concord PS5 DualSense controllers are being listed right now at $750.
To be fair, is anybody actually buying it at that price? Just because it's being listed there doesn't mean people are buying for it.
It's
Like, I
gonna
get
look right.
the few hundred. Well, because there's not that many copies. You can't play the game. Nobody bought it, so it's just like a collector's thing at this point. I think it's neat, but like I don't know if it's ever gonna like actually hold value outside of like a handful of collectors. This is just one of those things where it's just the game's offline. They very obviously didn't make that many physicals of it, so people are like trying to like preemptively hop on the board of getting these and hoping the value goes up of like this game that's terrible.
So, all right, we got the last. So these are all for today. Last sold copy of Concord opened $30. Then you move on. Controller right before that, $250.
Yeah, I can see the controller is actually usable at the very least.
Graded copy, first print of Concord, $250 sold.
That's like a realistic price range, I'd guess, for some of these. But like the idea is there actual value in this, or is this like a short term? People like preemptively being like, I need to get on this collector's bandwagon now while I can still get it, and then the price just kind of drops over the years because people just forget and don't care anymore.
The one thing I'll say, because you like never see the score for games like ever, I will say that copy that sold for $250 that was graded is a 9.9 A++. You like never see that score for graded games. So I mean, you look at the loose ones, $25-$30 all day. To the controller, another one sold $240, $12 shipping. Yeah, so I mean, like the controllers for sure selling for that $250. I see another one, $248.99 sold. So it looks like the controller is holding a lot of right, $300 plus $10 shipping sold.
I mean, those controllers are usually fairly expensive. It's like $60-$80 for just the controller
70,
itself.
70.
But yeah, but at the very least, you can do something with a controller. You can't do anything with
Yeah.
the games now. Like you can actually buy it and use it, and it probably looks pretty.
I almost bought that controller too. Like the controller, I guess I get a lot more than I do the game. There's another sealed one here, 9.8 A+, $200. So I don't know. Looks like the graded copies on the controller.
I mean, at the very least, it actually looks. I can pull it up right here. It actually looks fairly decent. It doesn't have any characters on it, so it's a cool looking controller. I could see where you get some value out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
Looks better in the game. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, I guess we'll move on to the bigger news. So we talked back and forth like kind of all week about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm like, I don't even know. Looks like it hit 1 million players in less than 24 hours. So let's see. Let's pull out the calculator here.
And I know this is not like a thing, but as far as like the bulk of PC players for this game, Steam, the fact that it's on Steam, is going to be like where most people end up playing it. And this is only like a Friday, but the fact that it's just based off. So these are like the actual Steam charts. Not ideal, and these are just like based off like concurrent.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. Okay, so
like
where we at?
So it peaked 10 hours ago at 47,600 some concurrent players. So like because I always thought about it, this game's probably 4 to 6 million is probably like a realistic lifetime across all platforms sale. Because this is only PC. You obviously still have Xbox and you've got PlayStation that are probably going to have decent, at the very least, similar numbers to this. So across all three platforms, you're probably going to get close to at least 100,000 concurrent weekend players and stuff like that. And the fact that it hit 1 million copies isn't really all that shocking. The thing is how much
I expect
actually going to sell. Because you got to think the first 2 weeks is where you're going to see the bulk of the sales for this game. And the other problem is, well, like how much of the controversy was damaging, because you even saw it about a few days, because the game came out Thursday, and then
yesterday,
it was about Monday, Tuesday when the embargo was released, and then about 2-3 days before, streamers were allowed to go start playing the game, and that's the question was the controversy that came out about this game once it was already out, people were playing it, the issue with it, because from what I've seen and most people talk about, it kind of looks and plays like every other Assassin's Creed game since Origins. It's that very formulaic style. Like it looks decent. It plays just fine. but the controversy was never about how the game looked and the game played. It was always going to be around the characters and the story, and that's
Yeah.
kind of where it still seems to be.
And then
'Cause
let's
one of
be
the big
honest here, the voice acting for that game, trash. Sorry.
and
Trash.
obviously the romance stuff is where a lot of people were going to latch on and talk to it because
Yeah.
it's like the low hanging fruit, it's the easiest thing to attack. Where
Yeah.
most of the controversy that you've seen is either it's like there's more gay romances than straight
Mhm.
romances, and one of the ones is the
There's an
fact
option
that
for female, there's an option for
is
male,
for
there's an option for
it's
female male.
still seems like it was stuck around the Yasuke stuff more. One, because the male romance is non-binary and not the best dialogue if you've ever actually watched some of
This is
those
the worst
romantic scenes. And the
dialogue
other
I've
one
ever
was
seen
the
in my
fact
life.
that he had a romantic encounter with Nobunuga's
Yeah.
sister,
Yep.
which was the big controversy because she was always seen as this very
She's
wholesome woman in
married,
history.
first of all.
And she was married twice around this time.
Yeah.
I think she said that, Nobunaga killed her first husband or something like that.
Mhm.
But the fact that during this, like, she was married around this
She's
time. So
married.
it's a whole weird thing. And I don't know how you want to talk about this, but and just the romances from what I've seen and some people talk about it, it's like, yeah, I could see what some people are saying. Like, this feels like a fan fiction from some Western liberal
It
woman
does.
inserting her fantasy into this game as far as the writing, because that's
Well,
kind of what it feels like. If
let's
you
just
ever
be
read
honest
if
here,
you ever
like
read, like, any video game or, like, anime fan fiction and stuff like that on, like,
yeah,
fanfiction.net or
sure.
AO3 or something like that, like, let's be fair, it's some of those are most of them are trash, very few actually have decent writings, but most of those are, like, self-insert stories as far as, like,
Yeah.
what you want characters to do and see and stuff like that, and that's kind of what it felt like because unlike some games, because I think like a game like Mass Effect, nobody cared about the gay romance in those. For
Mhm.
one, those aren't real people, so you're not changing,
Yeah.
creating like historical fiction with real characters, which is a delicate thing based off what you're doing in your target audience. But those are just well written characters. Nobody cared about that. The problem is for a lot of this, they're just not well written characters, and then you're taking for some of these
Like real
real
life
people that existed
historical
and
people.
wholesale changing what would have been the norm for the time realistically. You can always
Yeah.
theorize because, well, you don't really know, but, like, let's be fair, like, there was, like, a very certain
So
stuff that would and would not have been accepted in, like, 17th century, 16th century
yeah.
Japan and Europe and stuff like that.
So we were talking earlier about
I can pull this
the court hearings in Japan, right? So their whole
Yeah.
deal about that was the fact that you could go in some of these shrines and destroy the shrines.
Oh, yeah, that
Compared
was
to
a
what-
big thing.
They were very upset about that. That's what they were upset about. Like, didn't hear anything about the Nobunaga's sister. They were completely
Well,
talking
that's
about
only, like we've only known that for, like, a few
a
days at
couple
this point.
2 days, something like that, 2, 3 days. So yeah, I guess there wasn't enough time to talk
And that
about
would've,
that.
to
Came
be
out when the
fair
streamers were streaming. So
because you're dealing with a different culture and how they view like same sex and stuff like that
yeah,
relationships would have been a less of a thing or would have been trickier because like that's a whole you got to think like when you deal with politics there's like very specific things that they're going
mhm.
to go after and they're going to go after stuff that they can like is politically advantageous to them like let's just be fair so there's some stuff that makes more sense to go after than some other stuff
I think the
but
thing for them, the primary thing there is going to be the Nobunaga's sister because they are very
that would be like
protective
the
of
big
their
one.
history. They're very
Because the
protective
history,
of
that's
that.
a real person, and to
Right.
be fair, it's like
Disrespectful in Japanese
it could be
culture.
seen as disrespectful. However, maybe people in America or Europe view it and stuff like that, how the Japanese view it is gonna be very differently.
So Asmongold brought up a really good point. He's like, Japanese culture with how they are so protective with their history and also just respect in general, like how different it is here for respect. Like respect
Yeah.
here walking down the street doesn't exist, right? So they're like, what if you went back and like George Washington had some sort of romantic encounter with somebody that was another historical figure, or you could have like a romance with George Washington? Nobody would say anything. Nobody would care.
It depends on how it's handled and who it's
I
with, to be fair, but,
don't
like,
think
let's
it'd
be
be
fair,
like a big deal here.
how we view our histories differently because 'cause we're
Yeah,
just culturally different. Like, the idea of,
we're
like,
so
George
different.
Washington and a Dodge Charger attacking the British,
Yeah.
it's you could argue it's disrespectful, not true, but you think, like, yeah, America,
How many
screw
people
the
are gonna
British.
be defending that here, though? Like, that
No,
happened
people
because we
see that, they're like,
had
"Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome, that's badass."
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
you're dealing
Our
with
culture is
wholesale
so
different
different.
cultures.
So
Yeah.
it is hard, like, putting in that point is, like, hard to put yourself in another culture that you just don't
Yeah, because
understand.
you
Like, you
because
know
you
what I
see it
mean?
real quickly in Japan, like, one of the things is, like, it's more of like a collectivist society.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think about it, you don't do certain things because it'll disrupt the harmony. It'll affect other people. So like when you're like on a train, whether it's busy or not, it's like completely packed. It's
Yeah.
almost dead quiet. Like it's just
People are just
it's rude
respectful.
to talk on the train essentially and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
I
just
mean,
don't do it.
it's a different culture. So, like, for some people that don't understand like Japanese culture or anything like that, and like I saw a bunch of
Oh,
comments like, why do people care so much about what's destructible in a game? Well, it's just the way that they view it being made by, the French people here, it's in Ubisoft France. And it's just they don't get it. Like, there's so many points in this game where it's like they just do not get it. This does not represent Japan very well. So like some of the stuff I'll bring up was like, for instance, pre-order bonuses for Assassin's Creed
oh,
Shadows, the dragons and stuff like that. They were like Chinese dragons, like
yeah,
very
there was
clearly.
some stuff where it's mixing up Chinese. Actually, because I saw something else where somebody's like, "This should be more talked about," and nobody's talking about it. They're talking about a lot of the romance of historical figures, and I
Yeah,
get
there's
it,
so
but
much around this
this
game.
is
It's
a
it's like
single
how
player
can you
game.
cover it all?
There's a battle pass in this game, like daily login bonus
Oh
battle
my
pass.
god.
That I think I agree with some random. I don't know who it was. Like I just saw it was on when I was on X, and they're like, this should be like the big thing. Like this is
There's a
like
battle pass.
disgustingly Ubisoft. The fact that you can pay to speed up there's like daily login quests and stuff like that. I'm
Oh my
like
god.
there's live service free to play game elements in a single player $70
I mean,
game.
they did
Like
it in
that's
Valhalla,
the
they did
problem.
it in the one before that, they did it in
Like,
Ori
that
like,
is industry-wide destroy. I'm like, that
this
like, I
is
agree, like, that
Ubisoft
should be, like, the first thing you attack, and then everything else is just stuff that you can kinda, like,
secondary. Yeah.
compound on. It should be secondary.
This is a great point. Like, there's so much around this game that it's like you cannot talk about it all because it's like there's just so much. Like, it would fill up a whole podcast.
But the
Like
problem
the
is, even if
so,
this game was really good, I still think it would struggle to sell just because of
well,
the reputation around Ubisoft and Western AAA games is
yeah.
really bad.
Okay, so if we put the active players and let's just say like Mr. Coffee, for instance, brought up a point. I didn't know about this, but said they were giving away free copies with some graphics cards. So let's just say like
That seems kind of normal, to
30%
be
of the
fair.
people didn't buy it. This is like probably not accurate whatsoever. I'm sure more people bought it than that. But like say 30% of people didn't buy it. So we got 70% there. Games being sold at $70. So you put in the active players, it's quite a bit of money, but then you look up how much they spent on this game. Like, Mark, you can Google it if you want. I had it pulled
But
up,
around
but I
the
clicked.
$2 to $250,000 range is what
Yeah,
I saw, which is from what that looks like,
outrageous,
becoming the norm for AAA gaming, which is, like, unsustainable if you're not selling, like,
ungodly.
$10 million copies.
I mean, it's just like, how do you expect to bring your money back? Like,
Well,
especially
the
with all the
problem is
controversy around this game, you like screwed
when
up in
you
every aspect possible.
I think we did the math, you need, like, 4 to 5 million copies, like, or for somewhere
Yeah,
between
something
based off
like
how
that.
much it actually costs, 4 to 6 million just to break even. That's just
This is
breaking
just a
even
bring,
on the
and
game.
this is like not even bringing up their marketing stuff. So like
Yeah,
their
it's probably gonna
commercials
need a
they
few
made.
10, 20, $30 million
There's
on
been a
something like
lot of,
that.
like, commercial did I send you the one that was, like, the Super Sentai? Like, that was
Yeah, you did.
very definitely, like, a expensive
Like, they
venture.
delayed this game because, one thing I saw a lot of people talk, surprisingly, it's not buggy and it's not have a lot doesn't have a lot of problems with it. They
Yeah,
clearly were trying to make they wanted this game to sell. The problem is, like, let's be fair, someone's first opinion of something is very hard to change because I think I saw various people talk about that on the internet.
yeah,
And it's more than just gaming. Someone's first impression is gonna be like the longest lasting, and it's
yeah,
hard to break that. So
mhm,
if somebody 12, like 8 months ago already had their mind up that this game was gonna be bad, it's kind of hard to change their mind. They're not gonna be there day one. Like there was a lot of damage with this game made 6 months ago that
yeah,
turned off a significant portion on
sure,
top of just industry trends, going against this game without it being perfect. So, like, they were kind of facing an uphill battle. So they were very obviously like intentionally delaying it so it's less buggy, going hard on the marketing to try to sell this game. And I guess we'll see if it pays off. Because at this point, you need good reviews from people playing it to even have a chance at changing people's opinion. But I mean, to me, when I saw it, I was like, it's just more of Assassin's Creed as far as how
yeah,
it plays. It's very formulaic. It's the open world type of game I don't like.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Because I think there's a good and a bad way. Like, I guess Assassin's Creeds aren't terrible, but they're very formulaic games, especially since
Yeah.
Origins.
Unlock the
They
area, you open more of the map, you
yeah.
know. The
Like, when I
problem
think of
is this deterred so much from being an Assassin's Creed. So I liked Valhalla a lot. This was
yeah,
pre putting any of the woke stuff in it, right? This was Valhalla was not a
just
woke
talking straight,
game
like,
whatsoever.
gameplay, no story.
Yeah. Gameplay, great. Problem with that was there was too much to do. It was overwhelming. That was the problem with the
With
game.
how it's
I enjoyed it, but there was too much to do.
and I agree. I think there's a right way. It's good. There's a lot of stuff, but it's how it's presented is
Yeah.
always the problem. I think of two popular games, and they're popular for a reason. Think of like Breath of the Wild / Tears of the
Yes.
Kingdom and
Yeah. Get
Skyrim.
it right.
That is a good way to do an open world where it's you don't overwhelm the character. The map's kind of there. You can do what you want, but the way the map is designed should. I think Skyrim. Say what you want as far as like the RPG. There's a reason Skyrim's really popular, and it's
Yeah.
the way the open world's designed, where it's like there's a lot of stuff to do, but it's only close stuff on your map. You don't see it until you've discovered it. And but the world's designed in such a way where there's always something to do. You don't necessarily have to do it, but you're naturally just curious about certain things that
Right.
you walk past and
Sure.
stuff like that. But you can still kind of ignore it, and it doesn't overwhelm your map until you've kind of
It's
already
like,
discovered it.
the
Compared to
Korok
this, where
seed.
it's like you unlock the tower that Tears of the Kingdom kind of does, but it's like you choose where to go. It doesn't populate on your map and for
Yeah.
a lot of stuff until you found it and stuff like that. With Ubisoft, it's like you get in the tower and then it's just like here's a bunch of stuff to do,
Yeah,
and
it's
it feels like a bunch of busy work. That's the problem. It
right.
looks like just padding instead
So
of making it feel more. Even if it's padding, make it feel more natural and stuff like
right.
that. Don't just
More
like
integrated into the story or whatever
yeah,
mission that you're doing. It's like the Korok seeds and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is like the crazy thing that you can
but
collect,
to be
right?
fair, it's
But
very
there's like
obvious you weren't meant to collect them all.
yeah,
Like
you don't have to collect them all, but the problem with, like, what they did with Valhalla and previous to that is they had Korok seeds times 15. There's, like, 15 collectibles. You can collect all 100 of these, like,
yeah.
15 different collectibles. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this you're pushing too much stuff on. I'm not gonna collect 600 of these and 400 of these and 100 of these, 50 of these. Like, that's what they did. I'd be curious to sell they don't ever put the names or the numbers out for these collector's editions, but I'd be very curious to see how much of these $230 collector's editions they'd actually
I'm sure
sell.
they sold well because there's probably stuff in there that people liked, but, like, let's be fair, the bulk of people aren't buying those. You're
Yeah,
not making that
sure.
many copies. But at the very least and I wish we had this for all platforms, you could see, like, what games are popular and stuff like that
Oh,
because,
give me
like
just a second, Mark. Go ahead.
no, I can talk about it because obviously Steam and this is only Steam, so you don't know what's on Xbox, PlayStation, what's on any of the other platforms on PCs. It's just it gives you a neat insight on, like, the general health of a game. Which is I kind of like stuff like this because you can see like of the new and trending by far it's the most popular at what just shy of 40,000 players. But you can also see like is a game healthy? Like Rainbow Six Siege. There's over 100,000 people playing it right now. Very very healthy number for a game like that. Like Marvel Rivals is still doing very well. Monster Hunter. This game that's a few weeks old now is just crushing it. Like this game is super popular because it's hard to break 100,000 concurrent players. No shocker, Dota, CS2, they're just really, really popular games. And you can kind of see like Repo, this indie game is broken out, really, really popular and stuff like that. But you can even look at something, just pull up Mass Effect because I talked about it. I'll say the Legendary because it's probably the most popular one right now. You can pull up the charts. You can see like even for this game, like it's not great, but it's still still doing fairly well and stuff like that. It's not going to hit that peak, but 3,000 players for realistically like a decade old games and stuff like that. It's still fairly healthy, and people like playing these games. Um, I guess we like you can pull up like Sky. The problem for this is there's a bunch of versions of Skyrim, but we'll do special edition. I think pretty sure that'll have the more players. Like a game that's realistically what 15 years old,
Yeah.
still regularly breaking 20,000 players consistently. Like you can tell, like the general health of a game is pretty good and stuff like that. I think this is
Crazy.
more relevant for. It's just interesting to see like having access to this kind of information about how good games are, like how healthy they're doing and stuff like that. And it just gives you like a decent insight just having all this analytics, even if it's useless for most people. Just being like, who's playing this game right now? How popular is it?
For sure.
Uh,
That's crazy to see
can
those
you give
numbers
me
and the
a
Assassin's Creed numbers for a brand new game.
Yeah, because I just brought up Monster Hunter Wilds
Yeah, look at that.
it
Very healthy
broke
game.
over 1,000,000, which is extremely impressive, but the fact that it's still consistently doing over 200,000 concurrent players,
Yeah.
and this game's been out for, like, a month now.
Mhm.
Like, the
Yep.
fact that it's just crushing anything else that's been out and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's
Crazy.
never gonna get close to that, but most of these games aren't CS:GO. They're not gonna,
Well,
like,
like you
maintain.
said, the first 2 weeks are, like, the most impressive numbers for a game, generally,
Yeah,
if
'cause
it's a
that's
new
where the
game.
bulk of your sales gonna come from. Obviously, your numbers are gonna drop over time because people play a game, they get done with it, and then they move on. Even for live
Right.
service games, there's other games people wanna go and play.
Exactly.
But, like,
Yep.
because even the fact that this is sitting at a 58%, which, to be fair, is legit criticisms on this game, which is performance issues on lower
Yeah.
quality PCs.
Yeah.
The fact that it's still doing extremely well numbers means this is a really good, really fun game. Even the 24-hour peak is sitting
I
386,000.
mean,
Like,
those are
that's
good, healthy numbers, and yeah. I
for
mean,
a
that's
game like this that is gonna live and die on a community. Like, this is you can
yep.
do stuff single player, but games like this require a community.
Mhm.
And there's probably games on here you're gonna find that's just doing, terrible. Uh, I guess Easy Road's like a new game and stuff like that, but, like, there's a lot of games you're gonna see that are under 1,000, might be sitting at, like, 10 players, and if it's, like, a multiplayer game, like, "Oh, this is just dead."
Players right now less than 1,000. Is that a brand new game?
Yeah,
Easy Red?
it's under trending games. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Repo is a new game. When did this come out? Release date, 26 February.
Okay,
But
so
this
it's
is still
pretty
a
new.
really good game that I
What
saw.
what is it?
I'm pretty sure it's an
It's like a
indie
horror
game.
game?
Uh,
Online co-op horror game with up to 6 players, a local, valuable, fully physics-based game, and handle them with care as you retrieve and extract to satisfy your character. Huh. I have not heard of this game before.
yeah, because I saw some
Almost
talking
looks
about
like
this.
a VR game.
It's like it feels like an indie game, but the fact that, like,
Is this like an Among Us type game, but horror?
I have no idea because I've only seen about it recently and stuff like that. I think it came
Huh.
around the same time that Monster Hunter came out. I'm
It's
pretty
got a
sure.
very healthy, set of numbers there for it, though, so
But for semi work, which I'm pretty sure is like an indie studio, it's doing really healthy. Like, this is their 3rd game they released, and they all kinda
wow.
play the same. Like, this is 100% because this is a $10 game on Steam.
Okay. Well, that's why
It's technically an early
one of the
access
reasons it is doing so
game,
well.
but it's doing so well. Like, it's one of those indie games that's just, like, broken through into the
Yeah,
mainstream.
this is gonna be, weird that I haven't heard about this game, so interesting. I'm
But
gonna
the
have
fact
to
that
look
it's
this
doing
one up. I might have
overwhelming
to grab it.
positive, it's got a really like, this game is making a crap ton of money, even at
Yeah, for
$10,
sure.
$10 a head.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
like, you can tell, like, what is and isn't popular, which I think is
What's,
just
that
it's what I like
this is
about
actually a
Steam.
game I wanted you to get, the Atelier Yuma game that is on there. I was just curious
Which
what
one
the
is it?
numbers were on that. The Atelier Yuma game that was on, it was on the trending games. It just came out too. It's an JRPG game.
Is that the Altair game?
Yeah.
Oh, because that was interesting. I can bring up
Yeah,
the
that's
Steam
one I want you
page.
to get because I think you'll enjoy
It's
the series.
crazy. It is sitting at a 61%,
The
rating.
series is good. It's a good
But
series.
yeah, but the rating is, like, low. It's like a 61. It's saying, like, a 61, 64% or something like that.
But
There's
for a
8,000
game like
people
this,
playing the game right now. Like, it's got probably decent numbers for what you'd expect for a game.
yeah,
But,
that's
like,
pretty
why
good.
are the reviews so low? Like,
I don't know.
the one thing I saw about this game was, like, it got bad
I
reviews.
haven't seen any reviews on this Atelier Yuma game.
I wonder if this it's gonna pull up.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about this particular one, but I played but oh my god, there's so many of them. There's so many of those games. It's crazy. But yeah, I haven't seen anything about this specific game. This coffee said the main problem Ubisoft has is that its library is too narrow-minded. They keep releasing the same type of game. They do. They end up spending more on a game that is bleeding customers. It's not like EA and NFL. You can't go anywhere else. You have no choice but to buy the Madden. And then, now they got the NCAA series back. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they are very narrow-minded. You brought up the credits are 2 hours long. Like, how many people you have work on this game? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But
Okay, so apparently for that Atelier game, it's most of the negative reviews deal with the performance, which means it's probably not properly optimized.
Because it is like a Switch game at mind, probably is the reason. I'm just guessing. I mean, those games are always Switch in mind, and then the other platforms are kind of secondary because it
Yeah, I
sells
was just
most
reading
on
through, like,
Switch.
like a 5 or 6, and they all brought up, like, performance issues. I'm like, "Okay,
Gotcha.
this is a like, a PC specific issue for probably lower end cards." So
Oh,
it's
okay. Yeah.
it feels like it's like another Monster Hunter, like, it's
Yeah.
like a not they got lazy with it when it's probably was
Sure.
not designed for PC, it was ported to the PC from console, so
Mhm. Yeah,
probably
they've always got
those are
Switch in
some of the
mind for
issues.
those. But, yeah, I guess, we also got, oh, I can pull my notes back up here. We've got Persona 4 remake announcement is apparently coming because, they so let me read this here. So it looks like,
It's the only
registered
game that I've
domain name suggests that
played, and
Persona
it's a
4
really good game.
it is really good, man. Suggests that, Persona 4 Reload is on the way and is more than likely a remake from the ground up of 2008's Persona 4, which we just got the Persona 3 Reload, so this kind of makes sense.
You know what's
But
crazy is I remember getting for the I have this game on the Vita,
Vita,
but I remember
me
when,
too.
it's, the spinoff, like, dancing game, like
Persona 4
like
Dancing All Night.
the
I got
rhythm
it.
game released
Still
back in,
have
like,
it.
2016. I got that when it first came out. I think I still
I
have it
did too.
somewhere.
I still
Like,
have
it's
it. I
crazy
got
that
the
I'm still
collector's
remembering that
edition for it, the big
when it
big
was new.
box.
Yeah.
I mean, I like those games. Those games are good. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of those dancing games. I have both of them. The other one I got the Japanese release of for the Vita. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is
That's
really
crazy to think
cool,
that's
but
almost 10 years ago.
isn't that crazy? Dude, it's wild. It's wild, man. Freaking time flies. Like I
I remember,
am,
yeah, 'cause it was the Dancing All Night came out in June 25th, 2015. It's almost 10 years old this
that's
June. That's
crazy.
crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, those dancing games, Persona spin-off games, I think are all generally pretty good. I mean, like Persona series is pretty solid. It's one of those ones where they don't really. The only one I would say is the Warriors style game where I still thought it was good. It gave you more Persona 5, but it was like had a little bit of performance issues here and there, like all those Warriors games do on Switch and stuff. And um it was fine, but it was like another Warriors games. We're getting so many of them. It's like, come on, man. Like it's kind of it was fine. It was pretty good
Yeah.
though. I think
All I'll
it's worth
say this
picking up for
is
a cheap price.
Persona 4 probably has some of my most favorite video game most iconic video game music.
Yeah, I would.
Like, especially, like, I don't know, like, the department store theme or whatever it is, it's just so, so good.
Yeah. So I'm like thinking here. I think Persona 4 Golden still stands as my favorite Persona, even though
It is for me,
5
it was
Royale
only, like,
is
one of
really
2.
good.
I haven't beaten 4, but I haven't beaten 5, but I really liked 4.
4
The
Golden.
problem with 4 was I soft locked myself in that game, that's why I didn't beat it, and then I kinda got
What
frustrated 'cause I had
happened?
to go I got stuck in one of those one of the combat dream areas where you go into the other world where you're actually doing
Mhm.
combat. I got stuck. I didn't have a save to go back or without going significantly back, and I was under leveled for whatever it was, and it was essentially like I was at a boss fight that I just couldn't beat, and then
Oh
without like
man, that
going without like
sucks.
restarting the game. Because I tried to get out of it for a while, but the way the game's designed, I'm pretty sure either I was going to lose several hours worth of work, or I had to restart the game. It's what I think I
Oh,
essentially like soft locked myself at one point.
yeah,
I got really frustrated, and then I just stopped playing after that. That's
yeah,
the only reason I didn't beat that game.
happens.
I need to go back to it, but I essentially soft locked myself, not knowing what I was doing, and
Yeah.
playing the game with no insight, and I just put myself in a really crappy situation.
Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, I think that Persona 4 Go I will say it's like the base Persona 4 game. I don't love nearly as much as I do Golden. I think it improved upon the game tenfold. But Persona 4 Golden specifically, I do love just the Vita. It's cool that it got brought to modern platforms. Like I've got it on my Xbox now too, but I played it on Vita and I loved it on there. Bought the collector's edition, still have it. Um, I think it's a phenomenal game. So I think this is great news, but like I did tweet out that I was kind of like, I kind of like this is cool. I like that they're doing this. Persona 3 Reload was really good. I haven't beat it, but I've got like 30 hours into it, and it's
I should
really
probably get
good
this
remake.
because the just Persona 4 Golden is like $20. The digital deluxe is like $25 on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah,
To get
I mean, it's worth
4,
grabbing now.
to get Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 3, Portable, it's like $90 for all 3 on Steam right now. Though to be fair,
Okay.
it's not the remake of 3. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna say, like, at this point, Portable was cool at the time. I I enjoyed it. I played and beat it.
Yeah, I guess
But I
portable
think
is 20
Reload's the
bucks
way
right
to
now.
kind of
Yeah, it
if
probably is.
if you're going after that one specifically, Reload's for sure the way to go. It's a really good remake, very solid,
To
very
be fair,
good.
I was looking at the portable on Steam, and it's like, "Oh, this looks like it was just ported straight from a,
The PSP.
or the PSP or something like
Yeah.
that." It looks like a handheld game.
Yeah. It very much does. It's very much a PSP game for sure. Still even brought to modern platforms. But yeah, so that's cool news to see. More on the Persona series, not necessarily like super surprised on it, but people are losing their minds over that because people love Persona 4. I mean, Persona 4 is just a
I
fantastic
mean, it's
game.
probably
So
the fan favorite of the series so far, from what I've
people
seen.
love Persona 5. I don't know. It's between those two, Persona
Persona
4 and
5
Persona
just
5.
didn't grab me like some JRPGs too. Because for a JRPG, it's the story. It's either gonna grab me or it's not, and it didn't grab me like a lot of it like 4 did out the gate.
Did I don't know how far you are into it. Have you even started Metaphor?
Metaphor,
Re
like the tutorial, that's
Fantasio?
it.
Huh?
And outside of like the introduction tutorial, not really.
So that one grabbed me right away for sure. And then the last S&T game really grabbed me too.
Yeah, because I
Um,
think when I talk about games, it was stuff like the first, oh, what is it? The game with Aloy, the mechanical dinosaur game.
oh,
Immediately drew a blank on it.
I'm drawing a blank too right now.
But it was that one, 'cause we just got the
The
second
what? The
game.
PlayStation series. Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Horizon.
Yeah, the first one grabbed me because of the story. The
The
second
second
one,
one, not so much.
it's more of the same. I
Yeah.
thought there were too many weapon variants and stuff like that, and it just didn't innovate as far as the gameplay. It was just
I feel
more
the
of the
same way
same.
about two. Yeah,
Uh,
it just
and
didn't
I thought
grab me the same way.
the story dragged a little too long, if you ask me, as far as that one. But the first one grabbed me because it was a new game, interesting story. I liked the gameplay. The Tales of Arise was a game that grabbed me almost immediately. Fell in love with the game. Uh, like a Skyrim did the same thing, but it's a handful of games that really grab me out the gate. Most games, I'm like, this is fun, and then I just drop it after a few hours.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
I think sorry, Mass Effect was another big one that grabbed me that I absolutely love. So it's very it's hard for a game to just immediately grab me, that I just immediately fall in love with it, and I play it to, like, completion.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I get it, especially time and stuff too. Like, kind of think about these JRPGs take so much time, especially these particular JRPGs we're
It's
talking
like
about take a lot of time.
60 hours minimum just to, like, play the main
Oh
story.
God, I mean, like, have I spent any less than 100 hours on any Persona? I don't think I have,
I think even with most
honestly.
Pokemon games, I put in, like, 100 hours in those games. Though, to be fair, I'm, like,
Oh,
grinding out to
easy.
catch all the Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, I've
I'm like,
already
those
got 80
games are
hours in
recharging.
Monster Hunter Wilds. I mean, like, it's only been out for like a month. All right, next we got Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition just released. So I was kind of looking here at some of
I
the
picked up my
Metacritics.
copy. I've got 4 of these
Yeah,
games now, and I've only played the first one. I'll get around to playing this eventually.
I hope you play that one soon because I think it'll really grab you. And it's like I think it has mark written all over it. If I think about any of the games in the series, like I
Yeah.
feel like this one would grab you the most with the mechs and
I
stuff.
like
And
the first one. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's just I'll play it here in the next
it's
few
more
months.
we were just talking about the open world stuff. It's more the open world style of like, say, like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. It's that kind of open world where it's not like ridiculous and stuff like that. But yeah, no, looking at the Metacritic score, it's got a 88 for critic reviews right now and a 9.1 for user reviews. And the original version of the game had an 84 for critic reviews. So, it's rated out more positive than the original release of the game on Wii U. Looking at here, just a couple of the critic scores, the last ones I'm seeing here, like Forbes gave it an 80 overall. Xenoblade Chronicles X is a massive role playing game that is more scaled towards the mechanical side. We got IGN Adria, although it's not the strongest entry in the series narratively. I totally disagree. Xenoblade Chronicles X delivers a fantastic game. It's my favorite, so I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, so I mean, pretty good, 88 scored better than the last release, which you want to see because this is the better version of the game. It's got more content, more improved and stuff, and refined and stuff being on the Switch. more powerful hardware. Yeah, so I mean, it's good stuff. Just came out yesterday. As of the recording of this podcast, we're watching live. It came out on obviously March 20th. So yeah, this is one that I definitely, if you didn't have the chance to play it on Wii U like most people didn't, this is the way to play it.
I have a Wii
Definitely,
U because I've got a handful of Wii games that
bro.
I have that I need to
This
play.
I wanted to 100% this on Wii U, so my Wii U is literally plugged up for this game and Nintendo Land to play with my daughter. Like, it's plugged up for like 2 games currently.
It's crazy because most of the games that are exclusive to the Wii U, you can get on the Switch now. There's like a handful of games
But
that haven't
most
like
of them,
come
yeah.
over.
I really wish Nintendo Land could be brought over because of the way that it works with the gamepad.
Oh,
But
I guess meant to mention it and I forgot it because I have this digital, but I did get Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS. Even though I bought it digital, but I was like, ah, screw it. It's like $30.
heck yeah, that's a good
I'm
one to
slowly
have.
growing my Zelda collection. All thanks
You
to
are.
the GameStop sells the retro games now.
Yeah, you have been building up the Zelda collection. Cool to see, man, for sure.
It's too many to like play, but like I'm slowly getting there, and God knows when I'll get around to like playing all of them. But
At least the thing with Zelda, minus the most big 3D releases, none of them are like that intensively long.
That's right. I remember I didn't pick it up, but I saw both the Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass.
I think it was just Spirit Tracks when I was in Japan. It was like, I don't know, it was like 10K or something like that. It was like 10, 8, 9, 10 bucks.
That's a good. I really like Spirit Tracks. I think
it was under 10. It was under 10K, so it wasn't like super.
That
Well,
would have been like $8.
well, no,
right?
it'd have been probably around 50, 60 bucks, I think.
Yeah, I'm doing my math.
Yeah, because it would have been around
10K,
10K to be close to like $80, but it wasn't like super out there in price. Obviously, it's an older game, but it's like if they had that if I could find that in the States, I'd pick it up.
Be able to actually read it and stuff.
Play. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, those games are very dialogue heavy, so you definitely want to.
A lot of the handheld ones are pretty much straightforward. You're not gonna, it's not like an open world RPG where you're gonna sink like 90 hours into. A lot of the handheld games you can get through in like 40 hours.
Yeah, some of them less than that. Even like Phantom Hourglass, you can finish like 12, 13 hours, something like that.
Which, to be fair, I don't know. We need more short, like under 20
shorter games. I keep
even
saying
from
that, man.
AAA industry. Like, there's nothing wrong with a 12 to 15 hour single player game.
I agree.
Sell for like $50 or something like that. As long as it's a good experience and it's a good game, people will be fine spending the money. Not every game needs to be 100 hours open world game.
I agree.
And hey, you can sell it for slightly less. Have just probably a better return on investment because you can put less resources and less money into it. And if it sells really well, like selling 5 million copies of a $200,000 game versus 5 million copies of an $80 million game, let's be fair, one of those is more financially stable option to go after. The fact that they're only going after, like, it feels like they're only going after big banger after big banger is
it's like it's one of these things where it's almost like they don't have us in mind necessarily for a lot of these releases, which kind of makes sense. Obviously, video games, they have it targeted.
The problem is they think every game will be. They think this can be as popular as GTA will be, and it's just not. Because I saw somebody's like, "Oh, this is going to be potentially game of the year this year." I'm like, "No, it's not. We know before the game came out, what's game of the year, and that's GTA 6. It won't even be close." Even if this game is nominated for Game of the Year, GTA 6 is going to sweep the Game Awards and win Game of the Year. You already know it.
They've been working on that game for 15 years.
Records. I agree with what some people said. That game could be $100. It's still going to break records.
Still going to sell.
They're one of the few major studios that hasn't like destroyed the
reputation.
Trust. Yeah. Like, we get it. Online is
the focus
meant to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the single player games for their games like 4, like 5 and stuff like that are still a lot of game there. Still a really good game.
Yeah, exactly.
And the online stuff's still just really popular.
There is no competition for a year that a new GTA comes out. Just
at
the fact of the matter.
No.
They're just facts of the matter, man.
It's been like a decade since GTA 5 came out. People are hungry for a new game. That game is going to break records.
Came out on 3 generations, It's pretty wild to think about.
I think we already said, like, that game could arguably one of the best selling, in line for one of the best selling games of all time. I agree.
I think it could be. Whether I get into it or not, I'll definitely pick it up and I'll definitely play it for sure. I'll give it a go. But whether I were to care or not, that's still the facts that
Yeah,
matter.
because a
This game's
lifetime. So
gonna sell.
remember, GTA 5 came out in 2013, so it's been over a decade.
Yeah.
That game has lifetime sales over 210 million copies
Yeah,
of
it's
that game.
crazy.
I think
Absolutely
this game
wild.
has the chance to beat Minecraft's 300 million copies. I
It
think
has
it can break
definitely
that record.
contender for sure. Definitely
Because
has
on
the chance to sell.
at least on this list via Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. There's only 2 games that broke 100 million copies, and that's Minecraft and GTA 5.
Yeah.
I think GTA
I
6 will
mean,
be the next one. It's just Rockstar is just gonna be swimming in money before the online even comes out. Like, it's God, Rockstar Games has to just be sitting on so much
they
money
have
right now. Like,
billions of
how many
dollars.
games do most game studios need to sell to even break 100
Well,
million?
the crazy thing you have to think about here is that not even 80% of what they're making is from GTA Online microtransactions. They're really the base game is selling that is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because they
Absolutely
had
nothing to what the GTA Online numbers are.
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018. That game sold 70 million.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a big
this is
game,
a game they could put $500 million dollars into the game, and
and they'll
it's not
make
gonna
it.
matter. They're gonna double their money at the
Oh,
very
they're
least.
gonna
Like, that
more than
game's
double
gonna
it. Yeah.
it's not even gonna be close.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee said they see the money in the GTA and Fortnite had made, so these finance people think if they can do it, we can do it too. Yeah, I mean that's a great point. And then
They
bringing the
can't.
Hollywood people into the video game industry, I mean, I don't disagree
These
with you at
are
all.
some of these games that sell over the $50 million mark, they're like generational games. Because we went over before some of the games. Wii Sports, well, that was a pack-in, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
Ark Survival Evolved, like Mario Kart 8 / Deluxe, PUBG, Red Dead 2, the Oregon Trail has apparently sold 65 million copies.
that's wild.
Must be like Terraria, Super Mario Bros,
You died of
um, uh, Human Fall Flat. I don't know anything about that game.
no
Overwatch, Witcher
trash.
3. Like, those are like some of the ones that broke that $50 million mark in sales. Pokemon's at like 47 million. Then you have New Horizons at 47 and stuff like that. Then you got some Call of Duty sitting around the 40 and stuff like that. There's very few games that hit this level of success. Like, you go down this list and it's just generational games. You've got Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare, Stardew Valley, World of Warcraft, Sonic the Hedgehog, Skyrim, The Sims, Mario Kart Wii, Sims 4, Smash, Tetris, Breath of the Wild, Wii Resort, Black Ops 2, New Super Mario Bros, Black Ops 1. Like, these are some of the games that are over that 30 million mark.
Yeah.
Even. Like, these are like I don't want to say generational because there's a lot of games here, but these are like just really good games that stood out above everything else that it came out.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy how good a game has to be.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense,
Yeah.
That makes sense. I
Like,
get
if
it.
you go over some of these top selling games of all time, they're gonna be banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, for sure.
But to be fair, like, it very quickly starts to drop off after the 50 down to the 30, 20 million. Like, it by a handful of million, it drops off. Like, very few games even hit that 20 million. Like, 20 million mark is a really good mark for any modern game. Even the 10
which is
million
what what Assassin's Creed Shadows needs to hit and will not hit.
needed to hit 10 million copies to be a very successful game. But
yeah, it's I mean, I beg to say it's a lot more than that because I'm telling you the marketing side of stuff is not cheap. You're talking millions and millions and millions and millions. Like, it is expensive to market this stuff. And like when you see some of the ads that this company did, which is pretty wild, not
like,
to bring it back around to that game, but
I think it'll come close to break even or probably make some amount of money. But the problem is breaking even and making $1 million isn't successful for a game like that.
No, you gotta make a lot of money.
Like, I'll stick by that. This game
For a
doesn't
game
come
that
close to selling, at least 6 million copies. I think it's just the end of Ubisoft as it is right now. I think they're gonna get bought out by Tencent.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee brought that up earlier. I was gonna say, and I forgot to bring that up. But yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that happens. There's enough properties there for Tencent to.
Oh yeah, because he brought up
around
the fact that it's intentionally being tanked.
Yeah, the rumor about that.
I don't know if I buy that, but I think it's just Ubisoft's a terribly managed company right now.
They make really poor decisions. Look how long it's been going on with the microtransaction, the battle pass crap. Like, they are the innovators of microtransactions. Like, they brought it. Obviously it started really realistically like with Elder Scrolls, the horse armor crap, but they are the innovators of really nickel and diming you on everything. Like they really are. That and
Yeah, them
EA.
and EA are just the
Yeah.
problem is EA's kind of gotten past that bad trend hump.
Yeah, they have. They were the worst company for like 3 years in a row or
They're
something
just able to
crazy.
stay out of the spotlight as far as, like, bad news, but
Yeah.
'cause this is where I think where you got, like, Korean and Chinese games actually paying attention to market trends and what people are saying, what they want, and delivering games that are actually making money. Obviously, the most recent being Black Myth: Wukong, broke 20 million copies. Like, that's a very successful game.
I think not
I think
chasing
this
trends
is
is
where
the
you're
way to
starting to
go.
see it because the talk was a lot of time was the fact that, well, Western or Japanese games are either sticking true to that Japanese market or they're
Mhm.
westernizing as far as the global audience, which, to
Right.
be honest, isn't why people fell in love with it. And I think that's why you're starting to see these trends. This is why the Smash Brother creators, Masahiro Sakurai, came out and pretty much says that these Japanese developers should just make games for Japanese people, and if they'll probably even sell well because that's why people kind of came over. I think he's seen trends, and that's why he's kind of coming out there and making it.
Yeah.
Because he kinda said,
Did he say
making
something about the Jap?
Americanized work, you can say there is a culture of following de facto standards and stuff like that. That was it. But rather, I think, they seek the uniqueness and fun of Japanese games, even for people outside of it. They
Yeah.
played your games because you made it a Japanese game for the market, and that's why they came in. And looking at what's happening with Western games, and a lot of these games that are Westernizing aren't as successful as they used to be. Well, why is that? Because you're globalizing, and the problem is like a lot of these people that have been in the industry for 3 decades, like
Mhm.
Sakurai has, very obviously can see the trends and what players want to play and what they don't want to play, and it's
Yeah.
very painfully obvious what's selling and what's not selling. Anybody that has an actual pulse and isn't held by like any kind of
Ideology.
ideology can clearly see what is and isn't selling. And either the market's going to go the way it's going to go. It's just what studios are going to survive and fall.
I mean, like, him saying that stuff too brings up, we've talked about it before. I guess I don't really need to bring it up, but like Nintendo, for instance, doesn't chase the trends. Their stuff sells. I think that's the way to go. I think to not chase the trends because we look at like what happened with like Concord and stuff like that. Like
Most of it,
99.9% of those games that come out are not going to hit. And like Marvel Rivals did, kind of unexpected. It happens. It's one of the ones that slipped through and it actually hit with the audience. But that's because, it took over what Overwatch 2 was not doing. People left that game. They abandoned that game before Marvel Rivals came out. People hate it. People hate that game. I heard
yeah,
nothing but bad things about that game.
because at least the article I pulled it up, it wasn't. They didn't give us the full straight quote, which I don't necessarily care for. But he kind of concluded with saying, so like in other words, I think the ideal would be to make games the way you like, as those who agree with you will enjoy them. Like that's why
Yeah,
people bought these games. They wanted
I
a
agree.
Japanese game made by
I
Japanese
mean,
people
that's
for
why
Japanese people.
JRPGs are even a genre. People
Yeah,
like
like
that
that's
stuff.
like if I want a Western game, I'll play a Western game made for a
Yeah.
Western audience. That's not what I want. I
Yep.
want the uniqueness of a game made for a different culture that just thinks and acts differently because it's made in such a way that most Western developers just wouldn't make a game because
A lot of
they
care
think
put
differently.
into most of those games. A lot of these
Yeah.
JRPGs that come out, there's care and love that are put into
But
these
I think
games.
him coming out and saying this is big because not only is Smash Brothers massively popular and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but like somebody that's that well known in the industry is sees the writing on the wall for what's going on and coming out and
Mhm.
saying publicly like you have to change or you're going to start to fail with what these other studios are starting to fail with because it's
Yep.
very obvious. You're like, yeah, there's a market for people that like certain types of games. It's not enough to serve to grow or to succeed at any kind of triple A
I
or
agree.
quadruple A, as Ubisoft likes to say, level.
Yeah.
Essentially, like it's very obviously people, and that's the other problem is even if like the game before this was bad, people hadn't caught on by then. It's when it comes to like video games and stuff like that the last game might have sucked. This game could have been really good, but it's a trickle effect down. People have just kind of come to expect subpar products from you, especially like Ubisoft. From writing's okay, the gameplay's very formulaic, and then game after game, you start to see the impact. So if this one game, yeah, say Valhalla, I don't think there's anything massively wrong with Valhalla, but say Valhalla was this terribly bad game.
Yeah.
Well, it still sold 10 million. Like, yeah, because most people bought it before they realized what they were walking
Right.
into and so if
Exactly.
that game did well, let's do the same thing for the next game or keep going into what we've been doing. The problem is then the sales it's delayed until that next game. Then people
Right.
realize, oh, you've done this for so long. I'm tired of this. I don't want this. I kind of felt like I got, the wool pulled over your eyes.
Yeah,
So it's like
for
a
sure.
trickle effect. So
Yeah.
you can have a bad game still sell very well, and then the next game is going to be the game that suffers for it. And I think we've been seeing that for a while in the AAA. People
Mhm.
have just kind of started to expect certain things,
Sure.
and it's finally starting to hit the broader public, especially with people on YouTube and stuff like that talking about. I think probably Asmon's probably one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And then people just kinda got sick, and they the idea is like, well, if you don't like a game, don't play it, and people if you don't want the type of game, you vote with your wallet. You stop buying these types of games, and you with 3 games in the span of a year with Ubisoft, people with the last 2 definitely impacted this game.
Oh,
If
for
those games didn't
sure,
come out,
yeah.
I don't think it would be as bad with Shadows, but it's just like people notice a trend. They feel like they've been ripped off with previous games, and they're like, at the very least, if I'm gonna buy your game, I'm gonna give it some time before I buy it.
Yeah. I
Problem is with the amount of games that come out now, it's one of those things where it's like, if you can't capture that audience in the first, like, week or 2, they might come back later when your game's, like, 50% off and stuff like that, and by that point, the news cycle's already passed, the damage has already been done, people already have an opinion on that, and the fact that we saw recently that it feels like a growing number of people, was it, like, 15 to 20% of people play retro games? It
Yeah.
feels like it's a growing market is because of that, because people are just like, I'm not getting anything new. It's the same old mass market type of
Yeah.
product. I want to play something new that maybe took risks, like a Lollipop Chainsaw at the very least, is coming close to being a retro game, but a
Yeah.
type of game that took risks and did something new and unique.
Right.
That you find those in older games. Everything
You
now
do.
is, you found the safe thing that works. You're trying to mass market it for the mass amount of money, and that might work for a while, but eventually people want something else. And I brought up before, if you made a big game, but you also played maybe a 50, $80 million game, you can take risks on that. And if it
Right.
works, you can then implement something works on your bigger title. When these studios stop pumping out like 5 games a year, most of those being smaller titles, you can't experiment with new things, figure out what works, what doesn't work,
Yeah.
try this new technology or take a risk on some kind of style that might surprisingly blow up, and then you can implement that. The problem now is they only want to focus on the AAA, and they only give you what's safe, and they feel like they knows what works. But after a while, you start to get diminishing returns because people just
Mhm.
get bored of playing the same game over and over again.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee brought up a lot of these points in the chat. He said he thinks the gaming industry needs to roll back, and if anything, set a production cap, which is basically what you just said. Because at that rate, it's going originality is disappearing. I agree.
Well,
I mean,
originality's still
he's not
there,
wrong.
but it's in the indie market, and indie games
Right.
are starting to do very well because if you want something new, that you just want a fun game that isn't 80
Mhm.
hours, that isn't $80,
Well, that's like
the
that
indie scene is
repo
where it's
game you
at.
just brought up,
And
right?
it's
Like
probably
that's
why I
a
think it's $10, it does something different, or it adds upon, say, even if it used, uh, the other game that we just talked about with the, Among Us,
Among Us, yeah.
it probably did something new. It's its own game. It just took inspiration because we every game's an inspiration from another game,
Exactly.
and it
Yeah.
just took a risk, tried something new, probably cost less than $10 million to make if it's an indie game, uh, and it's just blowing up with massive success. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with because these studios used to pump out so many games, and most of them were handheld small games that if they if they succeeded, you made a lot of money. If they failed, you took a risk and you didn't really lose all that much money at the end of it.
Yeah.
And now they're so focused on these overarching open world, it just feels kind
Yeah.
of formulaic. It feels like we're getting too many open world games now, where it used to be they're like a dime a dozen, where they used to be a handful here, a handful there, so they were new, they were good.
You
The
know,
idea of like a lot of these linear games isn't bad. Like a 12, 15-hour linear game is probably cheaper to make, and you'd be surprised the amount of people that would still enjoy a game like
what's
that.
crazy is like I like open world games. What really brought that love for open
But you don't
world
want
games is
every
actually
game to be an open
Ubisoft
world
though,
game.
with Far Cry 3, which was very original for the
Yeah.
time. That game is still my top 5 games of all time. So it's not to say that they didn't do anything good. They used to do good Rayman, like they used to do good stuff, but it's unfortunate because they really brought it on the map for me of what made me love open world games. But then, like you said, they start pumping out these games that are like so like unoriginal, uninspired. It's almost like developers didn't care about these games. They were just doing the formula.
I
Let's
guess
bang them out, like
the idea
Avatar
of,
and like they got all these games coming out there open world. And it's like they all feel samey. They're all
They're
set
they're
the same.
mass market. You've got, like, hundreds of people working on it. You have to use studios like a Gears of War. They were, like, made by people that loved making games and made
Yeah.
games they wanted to play.
I don't
Like,
even know if
let's
they
be fair,
exist anymore
we
besides,
can
like,
talk
people
about
at
it if you
Nintendo
want
and
to.
Japanese developers, you know? Like, does
Yeah.
that even exist anymore with Western developers?
Well,
Like, I
'cause
love
and I think
games or is it's a job?
and I feel like we've talked about this before, but it's the issue that some people feel like they have with DEI. It's just not always expressed in a constructive way on the internet, just the way like social media is designed. But
Mhm.
the idea is like, let's be fair. The bulk of video gaming, especially the type of games that we play and we talk about, let's be fair, it's overwhelmingly male dominated as far as the
Mhm.
player base, and it's always going to be like that. You'll have women that come in and play these games and like them, but for a game like this, like Assassin's Creed, it's always going to be a minority. Like a game like The Sims will be far more dominated by a female audience than an Assassin's Creed game. Well, like that's just the reality, and the
Mhm.
fact that it used to be made by people that were other guys. Guys made a game for guys because they like this scene. It went mainstream. The DI, we need to bring X amount of people and we need to diversify. What the problem is, well, that waters down a game. You change stuff what people like, and then you've got people making a game for other people, and they just look at things differently. They think of it differently and stuff like that. Especially
Yeah.
like you have a most games made by women probably are trying to make. I guess I try to figure out how to properly explain this. Women are more likely to make a game that other women would enjoy, and guys, and vice versa with guys. Not saying it can't be done, because especially like in anime and manga and stuff like that, there are some really well done uh, genres that there's women authors that make good people that it's just like a male dominated industry, and people love it. You always have those exceptions, but at large, it's like a one for one. If you want like a really masculine game like Gears of War, you're going to have, a lot of men with a
Mhm.
masculine way of thinking that make that kind of game, because most women aren't going to think about video games in the same way of like, this is stupid, but oh hell yeah, chainsaw! Like it
Oh, yeah,
makes no
brother.
sense, but it's just bloody, it's gory,
Right.
it's fun. It's just
Yeah.
it's something that a guy thought of. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea of what I'm trying to get across. But you see a lot of discourse on social media, and it's just you can't have like a proper conversation, or you can't harder to like. A lot of us aren't always the best at how do you say it? That's not portray. I keep thinking portraying is the wrong word. Uh, Explaining like why we like things the way they are and stuff like that. Getting like your idea across in a constructive way. It always comes down to like sound bites and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
that's always what gets traction.
Right.
Like a lot of nuanced about some of these discussions is lost a lot of the
I
times, which
agree.
is why some people just can't
We're in the
always.
clips,
Or some people like
era.
you feel a way about a game, but you can't like express why you feel the way you do. And sometimes other people can just, express that same feeling better than you can, at the very
Yeah.
least, and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, man, there's so much getting into all of that, but
Like it's a
I
whole
mean,
rabbit hole, but it's
it is,
and
it
I
really
I didn't
is,
even do
and
the,
it's
the
like a
best of
whole
explaining it. It's kind of like off the cuff. It wasn't like prepared. I'm not always the best at speaking or talking about it, but that's why a lot of people gravitate to somebody like Asman, who can actually he's really good at portraying certain ideas in a constructive way that some people might struggle with, which I think is
yeah,
another reason why a lot of people watch him, and he's really popular and stuff like that, 'cause he
and
can
one of the
properly
things
portray a way of thinking that not everybody can.
right, and one of the things about him too is, what's really interesting is, like, bro, you can disagree with him, like, his audience disagrees with him all the time on
And
certain
so do
stuff,
I
you
on
know what I
certain
mean?
things. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
right, and I do too in a lot of things that he says, but it doesn't diminish, like, his opinions and thoughts on things. Like, he's got a lot of good points for different things, and yeah, I mean, I think that's just how it needs to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody can have their kind of thought and way of thinking on things, and, like, you can take things from that and, like, "Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Oh, I don't really agree with that." That's okay. Move
That's
on,
that's called healthy discourse, is having
Right.
being
I
open
don't
to different ways of thinking, but, like, well, either
I don't wanna
we
watch
are like, we'll
somebody that I
agree to
agree with
disagree,
every
or
word they say.
maybe
Otherwise, like,
like,
what's
"Oh,
the
that's a
point of
good idea.
watching?
I might think about this differently," and stuff like that, instead of, like, you have to think about it this one, which is what a lot of these
Exactly.
people on social media go out and do, like, "Here's a game, here's a movie." Now, whether what I'm about to say is in that, I'm gonna come out and say stupid things and make myself a target and make it people are gonna come out because we didn't even mention the whole thing where Ubisoft's like, we're gonna send lawyers after people that
Oh
harass
yeah,
their developers. I'm
I was
like,
gonna bring that up
that's
earlier, bro.
that's such a preemptively knowing they know this game's
You
gonna be bad.
know,
That's why they came out and said that. And most
right?
people know it's kind of BS. Like I get it, you shouldn't be harassed, but a lot of these people they get quote unquote harassed on the internet with these developers come out and just attack people. Say what's the right word? They say antagonistic things
Yeah.
essentially to and they know what you
So
have to
it's
know what
like,
you're doing. And then
hey,
immediately, oh, I'm getting attacked. Oh, well,
right, right. Like, hey, I can't say
you didn't
anything
say
negative about this
antagonistic things on
game.
the game.
They're saying you can't say anything negative about this game. So you're telling me I can't have an opinion on something, is what you're telling me. Like, I
Well,
cannot
who's the
have an
arbiter of
opinion
truth of
and
what is criticism and what is harassment? There's
right,
an
like,
actual
how do you
proper
even
definition, but people view proper criticism as you're attacking and harassing me. I'm like, no,
right.
I'm just disagreeing with you on something. But all right, whatever.
Bro, yeah, you can't have an opinion on things anymore. Like, you just cannot. But I mean, it's
It's a
going
little
into
thing
a
called
whole
the
rabbit hole
Streisand
because it's
effect.
like,
You can't come out and just do that because it's just you're opening yourself up for people just to intentionally go after you because they're like, "Oh, okay, we're all gonna go after you. All right, try to come after all of us now." It's just like it's one of those things where like that was wholesale unnecessary. Even if you believe like that, you didn't need to be open about it. You just
it's like
wait till somebody crosses that arbitrary line, and then
right.
you take
But they
action.
did it before anybody could say anything. And it's like, oh, you're telling me the game's not good. That's what you're telling me.
That's
You're
what's gonna
telling me
happen.
this game is bad.
Regardless of its actual harassment, they're gonna go after somebody, and people are gonna immediately assume it. They already have their mind made up on
Yep.
what's happening.
Yep.
Even if this person actually crossed the line, they don't care. Most people are gonna have their minds made up and moved on before the actual truth
I
comes
mean,
out.
my thinking is like, how are the lawyers even gonna go after any of this stuff? Because you gotta be now I'm at
I mean,
I'm
there's
like the
ways to do
point
it.
where I don't think that developers need to personally be attacked. That's a different thing. I think that's a different discussion. But the
Most people that
company
are,
or the game being attacked is not
yeah,
the
but
developers being attacked
it's your
directly.
it's like your director, producer, your forefront, the person that has all the say. Obviously, you're out in the public, and then
Yeah, but who's
probably some
calling out a director
writers
of a game?
and
How
some
often does that
department
happen?
leads that go on the internet, say something stupid, intentionally
Yeah.
antagonistic that they didn't need to
Well,
do unnecessary attention. They get attacked, and then they go cry that they're being attacked.
you saw
That's
that with like
usually what you're gonna
Helldivers 2. Remember, like the
yeah.
community leader, or whatever. It's
Like,
like
it's
that's
to be fair,
unnecessary.
there are people that are gonna take it too far, but a lot of what they're gonna get is just people attacking you on the internet, saying mean things for you that because you opened up the gate for it to happen. If you didn't say anything, people are gonna on the internet, and then they're gonna find
Yeah,
something else to go on and do. They're gonna forget about it.
gonna
But
be
because you
forget
came out and
about it
said
in a
something
week.
stupid, now there's a magnifying glass. Everyone's gonna
Hmm.
talk about it, and now you're gonna get more and more attention. And it's just one of those things. It's just, bro, like we don't care what you say. If you just didn't say on something on the internet, this wouldn't be a problem for the most
Right.
part. Most people
Exactly.
would just forget about it and move on, like they're going to anyways.
Yep, this game will be old news in 2 weeks anyway. It's like if they wouldn't have brought up some of the stuff or did
In
some of
2
the
weeks,
things that
in
they
in
had.
in a in a month, nobody's gonna be talking about Shadows anymore for the most part. There's
Nobody
gonna be another game that comes out, new drama. The Switch is about to come out in
the
2
news is
weeks.
so
In 2 weeks, everyone's gonna be talking about the Switch 2. Nobody's gonna be
oh,
talking
yeah.
about Assassin's Creed anymore.
Yeah.
That's suck all the life out of the room.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
And then
Well,
another 2
here's a
weeks,
good,
something else is gonna come out.
here's a good closing point for this. Mr. Coffee said, "These people would never have survived the Xbox Live Online era." I agree, man. I
Oh, it was so
agree.
I loved it.
I loved it too, man. I antagonized so many people, it wasn't even funny. But yeah, I think that's all we got for this week. So we did have a longer episode. We had a lot to talk about, a lot of things to show in the beginning and talk about. So this was a good week, man. This was a good week.
I thought it was.
I thought, yeah, I had fun. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad
Maybe
you're
not
back.
big on the news, but lots had the trip we talked about. We had there's like a handful of stuff on that's like worth talking about for like forever. So
Yeah, it's all right. We had a good episode though, but we appreciate everybody watching live. Of course, every Saturday we are live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching live now, we'll be playing Monster Hunter tomorrow, Monster Hunter Wilds. And like I said, every Friday we are live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're an audio listener, come check us out on the live show. It's a lot of fun. Definitely love to have you in the comments and stuff. And yeah, anything else you want to say, Mark?
it's good to be back, play some games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'm excited for the Switch news. So that's like the next big
Me
thing.
too.
Next
Yeah.
week's gonna be like the quiet before the Switch comes out, and then the following week, we'll probably talk about Switch 2 because the direct will have come out like a day or two prior.
Right.
Are we gonna try to stream that?
I
Because
would like
it's
to.
like
I was going to ask you
it's like
actually, is that
what
something we can try to do?
I think it's like what 7 a.m. my time when it goes live. So
Yeah,
I'll
so
be
it'd
able
be
to, as long
9.
as it doesn't go too long.
Yeah, I would like to do that. So if we can plan to do that, that would be awesome. That's gonna be a big one, for sure.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a really big one. So that'll be a big news
I
week.
have to
I'm
get up
sure
early that
talking
day
all
so we can get
Switch 2
on, talk
stuff.
about it like an hour before or something like that. So
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll plan to do that. And that'll be yeah, man. I was gonna ask you about that. I'm glad you brought it up. But yeah, we're gonna plan to try to stream that Nintendo Direct. That'll be fun. So get that scheduled out and stuff. And yeah, we appreciate all the support. Welcome back, Mark. And yeah, we'll see all of you guys later. Definitely catch the live stream though. It's gonna be fun. Monster Hunter Wilds tomorrow. And of course, like I said, podcast live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard